On day 1, I spawned in as a little mouse. Ooh, look how cute and tiny I am. But uh-oh, I only have 1 heart. I've got to be careful. That's when I noticed that my hunger bar was half the size of a normal one too. Uh-oh, I guess I have a tiny stomach. I better hurry and start getting some supplies. Right away, I started punching trees so that I could get some wood. Using the wood I had collected, I put together a crafting table, then used that to make a wooden pickaxe, shovel, axe, and sword. I packed up my crafting table, then started to look for some food. That's when my hunger bar started dropping. I had to hurry. I soon saw a patch of berries. Oh, thank goodness, this is just what I was looking for. Suddenly, I heard a growl, and a giant grizzly bear came walking over. Oh, he's going to eat me. I gotta run. I ran and ran through the forest until I felt like I had gotten away. This forest was a dangerous place. Just then, I heard some squeaking up ahead. I soon saw a little mice family. Oh, hey guys, you're just like me. Is it okay if we stick together?
A new friend. Yeah, absolutely. Everything is easier when you stick together. My name is Remy.
Remy introduced me to the rest of his family. It was nice to have a group of friendly faces. He told me that they had a nice cave to live in, too. We headed over to the cave when suddenly a fox popped out and started to attack us. Oh no, I have to help my new family. Together, we did everything we could to fight off the fox. Luckily for me, our combined power was strong, and we took the fox down. Yeah, you won't be messing with us again. We then all went into the cave. It was small but cozy, the perfect place to settle for the night. I just hoped that tomorrow I could find some more food. Otherwise, I'm in big trouble. On day 2, I headed into the cave to get some coal. I was able to quickly find some and mined it out. I also grabbed some stone. Time for this mouse to get an upgrade. I put down my crafting table and used it to put together some stone tools. I also made some torches. I headed over to our cave and set up the torches. This should help keep the mobs away. My hunger was starting to drop again, so I decided to go out and look for some more food. As I ran through the forest, I could see something on the ground, but as I got closer, I could see it was just a flower. Man, where is all the food? I didn't have too much time to think about it though, as the grizzly bear from before showed up again. Oh, this guy again? I can't risk it with 1 heart. I had stone tools, but there was no way I could take him on. I soon arrived back at the cave to talk to my mouse friends. Have you guys been able to find any food? Everywhere I look is either empty or has a hungry bear.
You're not alone. We can't find anything either, but that's because of the humans.
The humans? What do you mean?
There's been a lot of humans coming through here, and they've been taking all of the food. It's been hard for us to find anything.
I felt really bad for them, and they agreed to try and go look for food. I wanted to do something to make them happy, so I went outside and gathered up some of the materials. Using everything I had collected, I started to fix up the cave. We might not have any food, but at least we could have some beds to sleep in. It's the best I could do, but I just wanted to say thank you for letting me stay here. I'm really starting to feel like I'm part of your family. On day 3, I woke up to a loud noise. There was a human in our cave! He had put my mouse family into bags, and I was next. Let them go! I had tried to hit him, but he nearly took me out. I had no choice but to run.
You can run, but I'm gonna find you eventually.
I kept running until the human was far behind me. What was I going to do now? How could this happen to my family? That guy was huge. But one day, I'm gonna be big and strong too. Mark my words. I'm gonna save my family from the humans. On days 4 to 5, I set off to find myself a new place to live. If I was going to get big and strong, I needed a safe place to sleep at night and store my gear. I soon found myself a nice cliffside and dug into the side of it. I wanted something cozy like the last cave, but I was gonna make it a little nicer. Time to get some building supplies. I headed out into the forest and gathered wood, as well as all the other materials I was going to need. This was going to be a classy rat's nest. I then got to work building all of the rooms. I decided to build something even bigger than what I needed, including rooms for other mice. I was determined to save my mouse family, and they were going to need a room when they came to live with me. Soon, the base was completed, and I decided to get some rest. In the middle of the night, I heard some noise outside. Uh-oh, I forgot to put out torches. I gotta take care of these zombies. I got right to work fighting off the zombies, but I had to be careful because I still only had 1 heart. Luckily for me, I was able to survive and took them all out. I better get those torches up quick. The next day, I headed outside to take a look around the area. What is that over there? I went down into the forest and soon came upon a small, half-built structure. Inside was another mouse. Hey, you're just like me.
Am I? Cause I'm looking real buff while you're just a skinny little guy. I'm not a mouse, I'm a vole. What are you doing out here?
My family was kidnapped by the humans, and I'm going to rescue them, but I'm worried about getting food first.
Boy, are you right about that. How am I supposed to keep to my all-protein diet with those humans taking all the food? They also got my family too. I think they're keeping them as pets.
Oh, these humans are ruining everything. Let's team up and take them down. Yeah, let's do it. 2 more voles had popped up from nearby. Whoa, where did you guys come from? I thought you were the only one.
Oh yeah, these are my brothers. They're around.
What's up, little guy? You look like you could use a protein shake. Thanks. Well, the more the merrier, I suppose. Come on, you guys should live at my base with me. Tomorrow we can figure out the food. The voles agreed, and we headed out. On days 6 to 8, I was wandering through the forest when I finally came across a berry bush, but it was empty. That's when I saw a raccoon taking off the last few berries. Oh hey, would you mind sparing a few berries? I haven't eaten in days.
Heh, that's just how it works out here, bud. Do I have enough to spare? Yeah, I do, but I guess I'm just a jerk. Sorry, not sorry.
I couldn't believe this guy. Well, you're right about one thing. You are a jerk. I had had enough. It was time to start fighting back. Give me those berries. I jumped into action and started fighting the raccoon. I caught him off guard. He didn't expect a little mouse like me to be this this strong, I managed to beat him in no time. As he disappeared, he dropped a bunch of berries. Finally, some food. I took a bite of the berries when I suddenly felt my strength begin to grow, and I leveled up. I had gotten even stronger, and now I have 4 hearts. Awesome. With my belly more full than before, I decided to head into a cave. Lucky for me, I found a whole bunch of iron. By using my pickaxe, I managed to mine a whole bunch of iron, enough to make myself all kinds of iron equipment. As I headed back toward the base, I also came across some sugarcane. Even more food. Today is just my lucky day. I managed to collect a decent amount of sugarcane when suddenly the grizzly bear appeared again. I'm not running away this time. I jumped into action, but it was a mistake. This bear was just way too strong. Okay, looks like I'm running away this time. Today was just not the day to beat a bear, but hey, at least I got some food. Back at the base, I started planting the sugarcane. If I could get some more ingredients, I'd have myself a nice food source. I can also use it to make books. I was hoping to build a library in the base. Once the sugarcane was all planted, I went back to my base and started smelting the iron ore I'd collected. With the iron ingots, I made myself a full set of iron armor, then made all of the tools I would need as well. I'm feeling much better already. I then decided to upgrade the base by adding in a library. I felt like the voles might like it. I just wanted to make sure they were comfortable and happy to be here. Hey guys, come check out the new library. The voles headed upstairs to take a look around.
Reading is for nerds, but even I gotta admit, this is a pretty nice looking place. Good going, Pipsqueak.
On days 9 to 10, I woke up to the voles coming into my room.
Bro, we're starving. We gotta do something about this food situation.
Good morning. I agree, but I feel like I've run out of places to look.
There is this one place, but only someone small and sneaky could go there, like you.
I could give it a go. Where is it?
There's a human farm near here, just full of stuff. If you can get in there and steal some of their food, we could start our own farm.
That sounds a little risky, but at this point, I'm not sure what choice I have. I'll do it. The voles told me where I needed to go, then I went and waited outside for nighttime. Once it was good and dark, I snuck down and soon saw the farm. These humans have so much food. Why are they taking everything from the forest? I quickly gathered as much food as I could. We were finally going to have a reliable food source. Once I had grabbed a good amount of food, I noticed a chest nearby. Inside was a box of hats. I wonder what this is all about. Just then, I heard a bark, and a dog came running over to me. Hey, why are you barking at me? Don't you know the humans are taking everyone's food? The dog stopped barking.
They're taking everyone's food? He's my best friend, but that doesn't seem like a very nice thing to do.
Suddenly, I heard a shout, and the farmer came running out.
Hey you, get on out of here.
I had no choice but to run away. Those humans were dangerous, and I would never rescue my family if they captured me too. After a bit of running, I made it back to my base. I threw some potatoes into the furnace and started making some beetroot soup. I also baked some bread. With all kinds of good food in my pockets, I headed over to the voles' room. I'm back, and look what I've got. I started tossing the food out, much to the voles' delight. We'd never have to be hungry again. After everyone had eaten, I showed them the hat box too. Everyone picked out their favorite hats and put them on. We were all pretty excited about it. The next day, I went outside and started working on a farm. Once it was all set up, I tilled the land and planted all the different plants. Finally, I could focus on my main mission of rescuing my family. On days 11 to 12, I woke up to the voles coming into my room again, but this time they weren't complaining. They were excited because they had something to show me. Apparently, it was a fancy statue. I went outside to take a look.
So, what do you think? We all worked really hard on it. It's a mouse, just like you.
Wow, guys, that is really nice. Thanks for making this for me. You know what could be really fun?
What's that?
Why don't we make one together? There's more than one of us here, so I think it just makes sense for there to be more than one statue.
Yeah, that sounds dope. But we don't really want to build another one, so you can make it. We can't wait to see it.
First off, I decided to go out and start collecting all the flowers I would need to make dye. I was going to find some sheep later, so I ran around getting everything I would need. Once I had gotten all the flowers I needed, I snuck back to the human's farm. I snuck upstairs and managed to grab some shears out of the chest. Then I went over to the sheep and dyed them all the different colors I would need. I had just collected a decent amount of wool when the farmer and dog came running out. Uh-oh, here they come again. I've got a bolt. The farmer shouted and the dog barked, but I was able to get out of there just in time. Back at the base, I got to work building the first part of the statue. It meant a lot to me that the voles had made me a statue, so I thought it'd be nice to make something too. I still needed some more supplies, so I stopped at the first part. On days 13 to 15, I was out exploring the woods when I came across a beehive. Oh, we could use some honey. This will be very helpful. I gathered it up and then saw another one, so I gathered the honey from there too. That's when I noticed a small house on top of the hill. A house that small must be for a mouse. I ran up the hill to find out. The door opened, and inside was a feeble old mouse.
Why, hello, dear. What brings you out to these parts?
Hi, I'm out gathering some supplies for my friends. I've got to search pretty far for special items since the humans are taking all of our resources.
Ah, those pesky humans. They're just the worst. It's high time the Mouse of Myth comes along.
The Mouse of Myth? Who's that?
Ah, have you not heard the story? Legend says that when the humans begin to ruin the Mouselands, a brave and mighty mouse will rise up, growing to be even bigger and stronger than the humans. That mouse will save all mousekind.
Really? Wow, that actually sounds a lot like the situation I'm going through right now.
Perhaps you are the Mouse of Myth then. Ever experienced sudden bursts of strength?
Once, but I think that was because I hadn't eaten in a few days. The Mouse of Myth sounds way stronger than me.
Well, the Mouse of Myth will be confident in himself, so perhaps it's not you after all.
Oh yeah, maybe not. We chatted a while longer, but all I could think about was the Mouse of Myth. I hoped that could be me, but maybe she was right. I didn't feel confident in it at all. I soon left to go back to my base. On days 16 to 19, I woke up to the voles coming into my room again.
Yo, Zozo, you've been proven to be pretty tough after all, so we had a favor to ask.
What's going on?
Some of our buddies got themselves into a bit of a situation, and we were hoping you could bail them out.
I'll see what I can do. Show me the way. I followed the voles out of the base and out across the land. They had soon led me into a dense jungle where we came across some squirrels stuck in a tree. There was a Tasmanian devil down at the bottom, and he wasn't letting them down. Out of the way, mister. I charged at the Tasmanian devil, and we started to fight. Why won't you leave those poor squirrels alone? The voles cheered me on as we continued to fight. This little guy was intense, but I was quick and took him out in no time.
Bro, nice one.
The vole called up to his squirrel friends to let them know it was safe, and they came down to chat.
Yo, that was sick! We thought we were never gonna get out of that tree.
No worries, guys. I'm just glad we could help. Say, if you want, you should come live at our base with us. There's a lot of dangerous creatures out here.
Gnarly, bruh. We'd love to live there with you guys.
Just then, I felt strength coming to me, and I grew in size, and I've gained even more hearts than before.
Dude, nice gains. I didn't know a mouse could beef up like that.
Soon we all left and headed back to the base. I had grown in size again. Maybe I could be the Mouse of Myth. I'd have to figure that out another day. Back at the base, I got right to work building the squirrels a place to live. I started with some steps and a ladder, then got to work making them a treehouse. I figured they would be happiest living in a tree, so I made it the best I could. Then I filled the inside with all the comforts they could need. Soon, I was done. I really hope they like it here. On days 20 to 22, I got woken up again, but this time, it wasn't by the voles. What is that sound? I ran outside and saw the base was surrounded by zombies. But where had all of the torches gone? I couldn't worry about that now though. I had some zombies to take care of. I ran down the hill and quickly attacked them. They weren't super tough, so I was able to defeat them quickly. Alright, I gotta figure out what happened. But just then, another group of zombies came over the hill. More of them? Oh brother. I started swinging my sword and was able to take a few more of them out. But how many more were there going to be? I don't know if I can fight them off forever. It was close, but I managed to finish them off. Okay, enough of that. I better get more torches. But then, even more zombies came over the hill, and this time, they were covered in iron armor. What is going on? I kept swinging my sword and was getting hits in, but these guys were way tougher with their armor. It was starting to look a little close, but I finally fought them all off. Oh, I can't fight anymore. Hopefully that's it. But it wasn't it. More iron-wearing zombies came over the hill, and this time, they had skeletons with them. Uh-oh, I don't think I can survive this. I started to fight them off, but it was too hard. I ran under the statue for cover, but I was surrounded. Just then, the voles came charging out of the base and attacked the zombies.
Hang on, Zozo. We're here to help.
With our combined power, we were able to start fighting back and start taking out the bad guys. Even the squirrels got into the fight. At long last, the zombies were finally defeated. This time, no more zombies or skeletons came over the hill. Soon, we were back in the base. Thanks, guys. I thought I was a goner.
We thought we ought to help you out for once.
I'm sure glad you did. We've got to figure out what happened to our torches, though. Otherwise, we'll be in big trouble.
Oh, right. We might know something about that.
The voles explained that they had taken all of the torches and put them in the library. Apparently, it was too dark for them to see what they were reading.
It turns out, reading is actually pretty dope, but we didn't think about the zombies. My bad, homie.
I told them it was okay and got to work setting up some new torches outside. We'll have to try and make even better defenses tomorrow. On days 23 to 26, I left my base to go and gather some more supplies. Our base had nearly been taken over last night, and we needed some serious upgrades. First, I dug up a bunch of clay. I was going to make bricks, so I needed to grab as much clay as I could. I then brought it back to my base, where I began smelting it into bricks. Before I started working on the wall, though, I decided to build a nice walkway down to the farm. It was going to be much better than having to get wet every time we needed to get a bite to eat. With the new bridge complete, I then got to work on the new walls. There were some natural mountains around the entrance to our base, but I thought it'd be smart to plug up the gaps with some walls. After all, a wall is no good if someone can just walk right through it. Once the walls are finished, my next project was building a guard tower. If we had something nice and tall, we'd be able to keep a close eye out for any more zombies, or even worse, humans. It took a bit, but the tower was soon complete too. As I was admiring the build from the courtyard, one of the squirrels came outside to meet me.
Hey man, nice building. You're really good at this.
Thanks. I just want us to be as safe as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm actually a pretty good cook. If you wouldn't mind building me a kitchen, I'd be happy to make food for everyone.
Oh, that's a great idea. Before I started on the kitchen though, I first grabbed some food from the farm. There was no point in building a kitchen if there's no food to store in it. With all the food in my pockets, I headed inside and got to work on the kitchen. I made sure to set up everything he needed and filled the pantry with all of the food. I couldn't wait to see what he'd made. make. Later that night, I was up in the tower to see how well our defenses worked. I could see a big group of zombies outside of the gate, but they had no chance of getting in. I'd call that a success. Now I just had to hope nothing bigger would stop by. On days 27 to 31, I was keeping watch from the tower when the bear from earlier showed up. This guy again? I'm so sick of him always trying to ruin my day. I ran down and headed outside the gate. You've tried to take my food too many times. I'm not letting you in here. The bear just laughed and let out a roar. He wasn't much of the talking type, but he was still a jerk. Just then, he charged. The bear was still really strong, but this time, I wasn't going to run away or back down. I was stronger, and he was going to have the fight of his life. With my sword in hand, I swung as hard as I could, knocking him back. He let out a roar, but it was too late. I hit him with the final blow, and he was defeated.
Well, aren't you just the toughest little mouse I've ever seen?
I looked up at a nearby tree and saw a crane looking down at me. Oh man, you have no idea. That bear has been trying to finish me off for days. I just couldn't let him win.
Well, it's not every day you see a mouse beating a bear. Have you ever considered joining a fighting league? All of the toughest animals around are in ours, and you'd be perfect.
Oh, I appreciate the offer, but I can't. I'm on a quest to save my family, not become the ultimate mouse champion.
Ah, but you don't understand. This will help you. By showing your bravery, you can inspire the crowd who want to help in your cause. Not to mention, you can earn some serious money by winning fights. Money that could help you.
Okay. I guess there's no harm in checking it out. Where do I need to go? The crane told me where to go, and I said I would head over there after preparing a little bit. He thanked me and took off. Later that day, I was deep in a cave looking for resources. If I was going to win any fights, I needed the best gear I could get. That's when I noticed there were tons of diamonds in this cave. I mined out as many as I could. This was just what I needed. With my pockets overflowing with diamonds, I headed out of the cave. Back at the base, I got right to crafting, making myself a full set of diamond armor, a helmet, boots, leggings, and a chest plate. I then used them to make a pickaxe, shovel, axe, and sword. There's no way I'm gonna lose any fights now. On days 32 to 35, I made my way to the location the crane had told me about. Standing outside the entrance was the crane.
Good evening, sir. I'm so thrilled you could make it. You've got quite the challenger tonight, but I think you will do splendidly.
Okay, I'm all ready to fight, so bring it on. The crane motioned for me to enter, and I headed in. The arena was brightly lit, or at least the fighting area was. I could hear a crowd in the darkness though, so I knew the place was packed. As I stood in the arena, I saw a gate open at the other end. It looked like my challenger was a Shiba Inu. I could take this guy. A bell rang and the fight was on. The Shiba was tough, but so was I. As we fought, the crowd cheered. As we both landed blows, they oohed and awed. They seemed like they were really into it. If I can win this fight, all the animals watching will be able to help me rescue my family. I've got to win. The Shiba Inu put up a good fight, but with my new weapons and armor, there was really no contest. I soon defeated him, and the crowd went wild. As they cheered, a bunch of emeralds started dropping into the arena, as well as XP points. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these emeralds, but I'm sure I can figure something out. This is awesome. Just then, a bunch of lapis and obsidian dropped in as well. Excited, I ran around picking up my rewards as the crowd continued to cheer. I gave one final wave to the crowd, then headed back down and out of the arena to meet with the crane.
Congratulations. I just knew you could win.
Thanks, that was actually a lot of fun. I think all the animals were really excited for me too.
Oh yes, the crowd loved you. Please, feel free to come back soon. I'm sure the crowd was very inspired by you.
I thanked the crane for inviting me and ran back toward my base. I made a stop by the sheep farm first though and grabbed a bunch of dyed wool. I was going to need this for the statue. Back at the base, I took the wool I'd collected and got to work on the next part. I kept going until I ran out of wool again. I couldn't wait to see what it would look like when I was done. On days 36 to 39, I was exploring a nearby acacia forest when I saw something strange in the distance. Is that a mouse? She's really beating that wolf up. The mouse soon defeated the wolf, and I hurried over to talk to her. Whoa, nice moves! That was super impressive.
Thanks. I thought I was the only big strong mouse out here, but I see I'm not the only one. My name is Bella.
My name's Zozo. There's actually a whole group of us living just back over the mountains. You should come live at our base with us.
Are you sure? I don't want to intrude.
Oh no, it would be great. We could train together and everything. I feel like I could learn a lot from you.
Well, alright. Show me the way.
We headed off back in the direction of the base. Once we arrived, I got right to work making her room. It was going to be awesome having such a tough mouse around. Soon, her room was complete. On days 40 to 43, I met Bella in the kitchen.
Hey Zozo, I'm going to go out and train. Do you want to come with?
That would be awesome. You can teach me all of your moves.
Right on. Just give me a second.
Bella went over to the crafting table and made herself a new purple hat. It was really cool. She was then ready to go, so we headed out. Back in the acacia forest, I watched as Bella took on a whole pack of wolves. I couldn't believe she wasn't even scared. The wolves were fighting their hardest, but Bella wasn't even breaking a sweat. Soon, she had defeated all of the wolves.
Zozo, why don't you hop in on this next one?
Another pack of wolves charged at us, and I hopped in.
I've got a tip for you. Instead of just hitting, jump into the air and hit them as you're coming down. You'll do even more damage than normal.
I gave it a try and she was right. I tried it on as many wolves as I could, and together we defeated them all, no problem. Later we were taking a break when I had a question to ask her. So, how come you train so hard? What makes you want to fight so much?
That's a good question. I wasn't always like this, but one day I met an old mouse woman in the middle of nowhere. She told me this story about a mouse who could grow in size and was really strong. I had been fighting mobs just before then and had grown in size a little myself. That was when I realized I had to be the one in the legend. I had to be the mouse of myth.
Really? I think I met the same mouse. I heard the exact same story. I couldn't believe that I might be the mouse of myth, though.
Well, that makes sense though, because you're not. I knew without a doubt the legend was about me, and so I've dedicated myself to training in order to fulfill my destiny. You really thought you were the mouse of myth? That's cute. Come on, I'll race you back to the base.
Bella took off, but I couldn't help feeling a little disappointed. I mean, she was really talented, so it did make sense, but I was really starting to believe I might be the mouse of myth. We'd just have to see how everything played out. On days 44 to 49, I decided to get some more work done on the statue. I had collected a decent amount of materials for my last raid, so I got quite a bit done. I was even able to do the tail, which I thought turned out pretty good. I was taking a moment to look at how things had gone so far when the voles came running out.
Zozo, come quick! There's a human at the gate, and he's asking for you.
A human? You guys keep an eye out from above. This could mean trouble. I ran over to the gates, and sure enough, there was a human on the other side. But this human was dressed like a mailman. What do you want, human?
Don't you worry, little rat. I'm not here to cause you any trouble, yet. I'm here with a message from all of us humans.
What could you thugs have to say to me?
We wrote it all down, but watch out. We know about your little base out here. We've seen you and your friends training too. We could destroy all of you if we wanted to, but we'll let it slide on one condition.
Yeah? And what's that?
Stop messing with our farms and stealing from us. Otherwise, you and all your little rodents can say goodbye.
Okay, I'll agree to that on one condition. You let my mouse family and all other animals go.
They didn't tell me you had a sense of humor, but seriously, knock it off or we'll knock you out.
The human turned and walked off. Who do these humans think they are? It's time to teach them a real lesson. On days 50 to 53, Bella and I snuck up to the sheep farm I had been visiting. But this time, I saw they had built a huge wall around it. Looks like we inspired them to up their security, but I think I know how to beat that. Bella pulled out her shovel.
Shovel?
Shovel. Bella and I got right to work building a tunnel. I had been here enough times to know just where I needed to go to pop out under the sheep pen. We tunneled our way through and popped up right underneath them.
Holy sheep, where did you two come from?
Whoa, I didn't know you guys could talk. Sorry for dyeing you different colors and stealing your wool.
Are you serious? You're the only one who has been cutting our wool, and it's hot out here. You're doing us a favor.
Oh, well that's great to hear. You guys wouldn't happen to want to live at my base, would you?
We thought you'd never ask. The humans are the worst.
We all jumped into the tunnel and ran back out from under the wall. This was going to make the humans so mad. It was perfect. Back at the base, I got right to work building the sheep a nice farmhouse to live in. They didn't even have a roof over their heads before. This was going to be much better. Now we just needed to sit back and see how the humans would react. On days 54 to 57, I was down in the mines gathering some more materials. The humans would probably want to attack me at some point, so I needed to make some upgrades. Once I had collected everything I needed in the mines, I headed upstairs and went over to the crafting table. Using the obsidian I had gotten from the arena, I managed to put together an enchanting table. Time to really upgrade my gear. I went into the library and cleared out a space for the enchanting table. I surrounded the room with bookshelves and placed the table at the center of the room. Then I went through all of my gear and gave them different enchantments to make them stronger. I'm gonna be one tough mouse to beat now. I then went outside and got to work on the next part of the statue. This time it was all about the details, starting with a torch in its left hand. Then I got to work on a sword for the right hand. This was my favorite part of the build for sure. This statue is looking great. On days 58 to 62, I decided to make some more improvements to the base, starting with the bridge. I took down some of what I had done before, then began adding in some new railings and overhangs. As a final touch, I added in some hanging lanterns. Speaking of lanterns, I thought they looked quite a bit nicer than torches, so I went around the base and replaced all the torches with lanterns. I also added a doorbell. The least any invading human can do is ring the bell first. I then headed inside and cleared out a wall and added a window. Inside, I put some cushions and bookshelves to make a sitting room. The voles were really getting into their books, so I thought they'd enjoy the space. Later that evening, I was lounging in the sitting room with Bella.
I've just got to tell you, Zozo, you're a really great friend. To me, the voles, everyone you meet. And plus, this base looks amazing.
Thanks, Bella. That means a lot coming from you. On days 63 to 66, I heard someone ringing the doorbell and went out to take a look. Perched outside was the crane.
Good morning, sir. It would seem your next challenger is ready. He'll be even tougher than before, but the crowd has been begging to see you in action again. I think you really made an impression on them.
Okay, great. I'll be there. Later on, I was back at the arena. The gate opened and I stepped into the ring. The crowd was still in darkness, but they sounded excited to see me. Across the arena, I saw a honey badger had stepped in to face me. We squared off, and as soon as the bell was rung, we leapt into action. The crane was right. This honey badger was way stronger than my last fight, and his claws were really hurting. Sorry, but I've got a family to fight for. I thought about everything Bella had told me about and tried to put it into action. Once I started landing the more powerful blows, I could tell it was only a matter of time. Soon, the badger was defeated. The crowd went wild. I did it! Like before, emeralds started to drop from the ceiling, followed by some lapis, netherite ingots, and health potions. There was also a mythical potion, which said it could only be used by a mythical hero. Huh, I wonder what this is about. It's supposed to taste like bananas too. I bet a monkey of legend would be into this. Just then, I noticed there were two small honey badgers crying on the other side of one of the gates. Hey, that wasn't your dad, was it?
No, our real dad was taken away by humans long ago, but that badger you just fought had agreed to take us in. He just needed to win the fight to get the resources to take care of us.
Oh wow, I'm so sorry. I had no idea he was also fighting for her family.
It's okay, he knew the risks. We know that you're just trying to rescue your family from the humans too. We're just tired of them ruining all of our lives.
You know what? Why don't you two come live in my base with me? There's all kinds of animals there who would love to be your family.
Wow, that would be amazing.
The two little badgers followed me back to our base. They were excited to finally have a place to call home. I went ahead and dug out a room for them to stay too. Who knows how long these two little guys had been looking for a home. On days 67 to 70, I headed out of the base. Things were really starting to come along. Where is everyone? I walked out and saw the voles were outside harvesting some wheat, but Bella was out there giving them commands. What is she doing? I headed down to talk to her. Hey, what are you doing? Telling everyone what to do.
Oh hey Zozo, I figured that since I was the Mouse of Myth, I should probably be the one calling the shots around here.
I don't really know why you keep saying you're the Mouse of Myth. There's not really any proof. For all you know, it's me.
Oh yeah? Well, if you were the Mouse of Myth, you'd already have the Frost Slayer sword.
The what?
Yeah, see? You don't even know what it is. Part of the legend is that the Mouse of Myth is able to get it from the Great Northern Tundra.
Well, you don't have it either. In fact, I'm going to get it right now.
Oh yeah? Not if I get it first.
Bella and I took off for the Great Northern Tundra. I would show her. We soon arrived, and boy was it cold. We were both so worried about getting there first, we ran right into a pack of polar bears. Uh-oh, we both fought hard to stay alive, but it was clear we couldn't fight them off fighting on our own. We changed our strategy and saw that by working together, we were able to take them all out. Oh, Bella, what are we doing? We're going to get ourselves into some serious trouble if we don't work together.
You're right. We're being really hasty. How about this? We both work together to get the sword. Once we get there, we can just see who the sword chooses. It's not really up to us who the Mouse of Myth is, anyway.
Exactly. All right, let's go get that sword. On day 71 to 74, Bella and I continued deeper into the tundra. As we traveled through the ice spikes, we soon came across a dungeon. This must be the place. No matter what happens, we'll still be friends. Deal?
Deal.
Bella and I ran down the stairs and into the dungeon. It's full of water. How are we going to get through? Just then, we noticed some levers at the top of the stairs.
These must control the platforms down there. Here, you go down and I'll work these levers.
I ran down by the water as Bella started flipping switches. After hitting the first one, a platform came out of the wall. I jumped over to it. Bella continued hitting the switches and more platforms came out of the wall. I had some close calls jumping between them, but eventually I made it to the next passageway. Hang on a second, there's a lever in here. Let me hit it and see what it does. I flipped the switch and a shortcut opened up for Bella. She hopped down.
Nice hopping. Let's see what else is in here.
We kept going down the hallway when suddenly a bunch of poison snowballs came flying out of the wall, hitting us. Ouch, those really hurt. There was a small passageway, so we ducked through there to heal up.
Zozo, I have to be honest with you.
What is it?
I know I'm really confident all the time, but the truth is, I'm not sure if I'm actually the Mouse of Myth. The old mouse woman had just told me a story so specific, I felt like it had to be me.
Yeah, it was the same thing for me. But you know what we haven't considered yet?
What's that?
Maybe she was just making the whole thing up to trick mice like us to take on the humans.
You know what? You're probably right. As if we didn't have enough reason to want to fight them. I guess we'll find out soon enough anyway.
I agreed. That's when I noticed something odd about the box we were next to. Hey, is there something in this? We looked inside and saw there was a fancy new helmet inside. My diamond helmet was still in good shape, so I let Bella take it. We decided to keep pushing on and ran out into the snowballs. We took some hits, but made it through. We soon entered a big room that was full of bad guys. We sprang into action, fighting them off. Some of them cast magic spells that dropped explosive ice blocks on us. They were really tough, but nothing could break the power of our friendship. We quickly cleared the room. I think this might be the last room up ahead. Let's finish this together. On day 75 to 78, we stepped into a large room where a snow troll was standing in the center of the room. But look what he was standing in front of. The Frost Slayer, I can see it.
Let's get that troll out of our way.
Bella and I sprinted in, swinging our weapons as hard as we could. This guy was unbelievably strong. His blows did a lot of damage, and no matter how hard we hit him, it seemed like he wasn't even hurt. This guy is crazy. I don't know if we can beat him. Our health was dropping fast too. Maybe neither of us was the Mouse of Myth, and it was all going to end here. But just then, I had an idea. Bella, follow my lead. Hey, Dum-Dum, over here! We took off running, and he followed us over by one of the support pillars. He swung his stone column at me, but I jumped out of the way, causing him to hit the support pillar. There was a crack, and suddenly, the whole pillar fell over, smashing the troll.
Zozo, that was brilliant. Go on, you can grab the sword first.
I stepped up and took a hold of the sword. Suddenly, nothing happened. It was just a normal sword. There's nothing special about this sword. Here, I tossed the sword over to Bella, who picked it up.
You're right, this is just like holding any other sword. That legend must not be true. Otherwise, only one of us could have held this.
True, or maybe it's just about anyone. No one is born the Mouse of Myth. You become it by trying. Suddenly, there was a rumbling sound, and the roof started to cave in. Without the support column, we were all in danger. We ran as fast as we could and made it out of the room just in time. On days 79 to 84, we had made it back to the base and settled back in for the night. The next day, I had a lot of work to do. I started by doubling the size of our farm so everyone would have plenty to eat. Then I got busy putting in a path around it. This was going to be much easier to navigate. Then I went over and put together an archery range for the squirrels. They had been really helpful when the zombies had attacked, so I wanted to give them an even better training ground. Nice shooting, guys. If humans show up here, they aren't going to know what hit them. The Volts had also mentioned to me how they were reading all about gardening and wanted to try their hand at maintaining a garden. So I put in a small garden for them to manage as well.
Yeah, we better get the pruners out. These roses are already looking a little wild. And keep a close eye on those poppies. I'd hate to see them fall to the weeds.
With so many animals around, the outdoors were starting to get a little untidy, so I made a small storage shack for us to stash all of our odds and ends. Part of these improvements was also getting a better space for us to improve our weapons and armor, so I built a smithy area for us to do everything we needed to do. I thought it turned out pretty nice. With the new smithy, I took some time to fix up all of my diamond gear, as Bella fired up the blast furnace to make improvements to her equipment too. Then I headed inside to the smithing table, where I used all of the netherite I had won in the arena to upgrade my diamond gear to netherite. Then I brought the new gear over to the enchanting table, where I enchanted all of my netherite equipment. I'm going to be one unstoppable mouse now. And finally, our last project was upgrading our walls, which the Voles offered to help with. At this point, our humble little rat base was becoming a full-on castle. We gave the walls major upgrades and even built a large tower. On days 85 to 89, the Vole came running into my room with a warning.
Zozo, the humans are outside the walls. Come quickly.
I hurried and ran to the walls and could see a small army of humans were preparing to charge, but the squirrels were in position and ready to fire. Hold steady, guys. Here they come. The humans began to charge as the squirrels unleashed their arrows. Their training had paid off, and they were deadly shots. Several humans fell as they ran toward the base. It's working. The humans had lost many of their soldiers and started to run away. Yeah, nice job, everyone. They aren't tough at all. What I didn't realize was that this was just a decoy. A powerful warrior had scaled the mountain behind us and jumped into our base. What was that? I turned and saw a warrior standing in the courtyard. He said nothing as he stared up at me. Charge! I leapt into action, swinging my sword. But if there was anything I had learned, it was that friends are stronger together. Bella came running out of the base, followed by the Voles. The squirrels started shooting arrows down as well. Even with our combined power, though, it was quite the fight. Keep going, everyone. We can defeat this guy. The warrior was strong, and his armor was hard to crack. Eventually, we managed to knock him over the cliff as he landed in the water. We kept on him, and I swung my new Frostslayer sword with all my might. At long last, he was finally defeated. We did it. The humans will never take our land, and they certainly won't take our freedom. Suddenly, I felt strength coming into me, and I leveled up, gaining 8 more hearts. We will never be conquered. On days 90 to 94, I ran into Bella in the lobby, but she looked really sad. Bella, what's wrong? I thought you'd be excited after our successful fight.
I am excited about our win, but I'm just really down about this Mouse of Myth stuff. I mean, I dedicated my entire life believing I was fulfilling my destiny, but it's looking more like it was all a lie.
You know what? I think we should go talk to that old mouse woman. Even if it's all a lie, you can at least be at peace, knowing the truth. Bella agreed, and we headed out. We soon arrived back at the old woman's house. I told Bella to stay back while I knocked on the door. As the old woman came out, she was excited to see me.
Oh, look who it is. Could it be our very own Mouse of Myth?
Cut it, lady. We came here to find out the truth.
We?
Just then, Bella jumped up, which caught the old woman by surprise.
We? Why did you tell both of us the same legend? Is there a Mouse of Myth or not? Oh, no. Okay. The truth. The truth is that I made it all up.
Why would you do that? That lie nearly destroyed our friendship.
Oh, I'm sorry. I never would have wanted that. The humans have been messing with mice for decades, and no one ever seemed brave enough to stand up to them. I just thought if I made up a story, I might be able to inspire someone to actually do it. They took my family years ago, and I've always wanted revenge.
Well, I suppose there are worse things to lie about. We do want to teach them a lesson, and are actually strong enough to do something about it after all. Bella agreed, and we had a nice chat with the old woman about her family. She sounded lonely living out here, so I invited her to stay at the base with us. She agreed, but on one condition. We had to rebuild her house exactly the same. I took some time to take down her house so that we'd have all the right pieces. Then later, back at the base, I reconstructed it so it would be exactly how it was before. She was delighted to have a familiar but safe place to stay. On days 95 to 97, I walked out of the base to see the crane waiting for me.
Oh, good morning again, sir. I know you've got your hands full, but your next challenger is ready for you. The crowd has said that they wish to see you fight fight once more. I'm sure they will make it worth your while.
Well, one more round of upgrades before we fight the humans would be nice. Okay, I'll do it. The crane nodded before flying up and away. Later that day, I arrived back at the arena entrance, ready for my fight. I entered in and headed back into the arena. As the gate opened on the other side, I was shocked to see who it was. Bella, what are you doing here?
It's okay, Zozo. We don't have to fight to the death. I've been doing these fights too so that I can train. Come on, it'll be a fun training exercise. We can see who is actually the strongest.
Well, alright. I don't know if the crowd will like it, but obviously I don't want either of us to be eliminated.
Of course not. Bring it on.
Bella and I charged at each other. We weren't planning on taking each other out, but neither of us were holding back. The crowd was going absolutely crazy. Bella, is this too much? Maybe we should stop.
No, listen to them. They're loving it. We've got to give them a good show if we want them to still pay out at the end.
It didn't feel right to me, but we kept fighting on. Bella was such an amazing fighter, but she had taught me all of her moves. I landed a really hard hit, and Bella backed off.
Oh, okay. I think we need to stop there. Nice hit, Zozo.
Yeah, of course. You really had me on the ropes. Once the crowd realized what was happening, they started to boo. I could hear the crane's voice coming from the stands.
Zozo, what are you waiting for? Finish her off.
What? No, she's my friend.
Fine, but people came here expecting a finale, and I'm going to give it to them.
Just then, the crane dropped in from the darkness, finishing off Bella. What have you done? The animals watching are going to support me against you.
You mean these animals?
I looked at the balcony and saw that the crowd had stepped closer, revealing themselves to be humans. I couldn't believe the crane had been working for them this whole time. I could feel my blood beginning to boil, and in my rage, I grew into a large, ferocious rat. You're gonna pay for that! I charged at the crane, hitting him again and again, defeating him in no time. I could hear the humans laughing as one of them shouted for the guards. The gate opened and a bunch of human guards came running in. Get out of my way! The guards thought they could stop my rampage, but I was way too angry. I swung my sword with all my might and quickly took them all out. I could tell the humans watching were starting to get nervous. Don't think that you're getting away either. With my new strength, I jumped from the arena into the balcony and started to attack. They didn't realize who they were messing with. I managed to take several of them out as they tried to run away. Enough is enough. I've got to end this. I jumped back into the arena and ran out of the building. On day 98, I had made it back to my base, and my rage had turned to sadness. I couldn't believe Bella was gone. As I looked at the statue, I wanted to do something nice to remember her. Atop the mouse statue, I took some time to add the same hat that Bella had worn when we first met. She had always said it was one of her favorites. That night, I was looking at the statue when suddenly Bella appeared in front of me.
Zozo, thank you for dedicating this statue to me. I want you to know that everything is okay.
But it was never supposed to be like this. We were supposed to take down the humans together.
I know, but the truth is, I don't think you need me. I spent a lot of time thinking about the Mouse of Myth. The old woman may have made it up, but in doing so, she also made it come true. You have become the Mouse of Myth, and I'm so proud to have been your friend.
I shed a tear and thanked her for everything she had taught me. I felt like it was finally time to fulfill my destiny. It was time to save my family and the world. On day 99, I met with all of my friends in our base. Okay guys, it's time. If any of you want to stay behind, you can. No one will hold it against you. No one said a word. They were ready to fight. Very well, get geared up. We attack at nightfall. Before leaving, I ran over to the chest and grabbed the mythical potion, as well as the health potions I had gotten earlier. The team regrouped in the lobby, and we headed out for the humans' base. On my way out, I paused to look at the mouse statue. I could feel Bella was with us. We soon reached the gates to the humans' town, but how are we going to get in?
Don't worry, guys. I know just what to do.
The Vole slipped through a small hole in the side of the guard tower, popping out inside of the base. He ran over to the lever and flipped it, letting us all in. Nice going! Let's get him! We stormed into the base, running into a couple of humans. All together, we took them out with ease. Off in the distance, I could see the farmer. This time, he was geared up to fight.
There they are, Bosco. Take them out. Bosco?
Bosco attacked his owner, taking him out. Then he ran over to us.
You've had me thinking more than I have in my whole life. These humans have been so mean to other animals, and I can't be part of it. I'm here to help.
With Bosco now on our team, we charged into the streets. There were several humans geared up to fight, but they weren't ready for us. We all unleashed our attacks, knocking them out of our way. Keep going, guys, we're doing great! We kept fighting through the streets and soon came upon a mansion in the middle of town. This had to be where my family was being kept. We charged the doors and quickly took out the guards. But how are we going to get in?
Hang on, folks. I'll get us in there somehow.
The Vole started sniffing around and soon found another hole on the side of the building. He crawled through, dropping into a library maze.
Good thing I got into reading. I just have to follow the titles back to A, and then I'll be back at the front.
Using the authors as his guide, the Vole wove through the maze until he noticed a hole.
Nice, a shortcut.
He popped out and flipped the switch, letting us all inside. Just then, there was a sound in the town, and we could see the whole army was coming for us.
Quick, Zozo, go. We can hold them off.
Yeah, man, your family needs you.
You guys are the best. I will see you soon. I ran into the basement as the rest of my friends stayed back. As I entered the basement, I could see it was filled with animals, including my mouse family. Remy, it's me. We've got to get you guys out of here.
Zozo, I can't believe it. Look how big and strong you are.
Just then, I heard the gate slam and hurried back up the stairs.
Well, if it isn't the rat that got away, I should have captured you when I had the chance.
You are just the worst. No monologues. I jumped into action, swinging my sword. Where had all my friends gone? Did he hurt them? I didn't have too long to think about it though, as he was really starting to hurt me. My health was dropping, and so my only option was to run away and heal up.
What's wrong? Too afraid to fight?
I had just gotten my health restored when the human caught up to me.
I was going to keep you as a pet, but something like you is too powerful to be kept alive.
We kept fighting, but I was starting to lose hope. He was too strong. I hurried and ran up the stairs to the roof to heal some more, hiding around the corner.
Come out, little mousy. I just want to talk.
This human had been the cause of so many problems. He had destroyed and captured so many of my friends. He was going to pay. I took out the mythical potion. If I'm truly the Mouse of Myth, this will help me. I drank the potion down and felt a powerful surge of energy. I gained more hearts and felt even stronger than before. It had worked. It was time to end this.
What the? How can a little rat become so powerful? What is this?
This is what happens when you mess with a guy's friends, his family, his world. The human had backed up against the edge.
No, okay, surely we can work something out.
Nope, it's over. I lunged forward and knocked him off the roof, sending him falling to the ground below. He's gone, but where are my friends? On day 100, I heard a shout as all of my friends came running over the bridge. It turned out they had pushed the soldiers all the way back into the town and defeated them. I made my way back into the dungeon and finally released my family, along with all the other animals. We laughed and we cried. It had been too long. Back at the base, everyone celebrated. Even all the way from Mousy Heaven, I felt like I could hear Bella jumping for joy. Our fight was finally over. On day 1, I spawned in as a rabbit. Oh no, I only have 1 heart. I'm gonna have to be really careful if I'm gonna survive. But check it out, I can jump high and I'm super fast. I took a look around and I could see there were tons of other bunny friends around. But suddenly, they all ran away. Hey guys, what's going on? Just then, a fox appeared. That must be why the other bunnies ran away. I had to be careful. If that fox landed just 1 hit on me, I was done for. Luckily, I was able to run really fast and jump super high, so I was able to outrun the fox and get away. The best thing I can do today is just survive. I better find a good place to hide for the night. I took a look around until I found a good spot. I dug into the side of the hill and hunkered down for the night. Maybe I can find all of my bunny friends in the morning. On day 2, I woke up and went to go look for my bunny friends. As I arrived back at the spawn point, I didn't see anyone around. Where could everyone have run off to? I wasn't sure where to start looking for them, but I had an idea. Maybe if I can build a really cool bunny house, they'll come back. If I was gonna build a cool bunny house, I needed some tools, so I headed off into the forest to get some supplies. After a while, I had gathered enough supplies to be able to build my first tools. I put as many tools together as I could, including a sword. With my new tools in hand, I headed into the mine to get some stone. As I was mining, I was suddenly attacked by a spider. Whoa, get back! I had to be really careful. If I took even 1 hit, I was done for. It's a good thing I had made myself a sword though, because with that, I was able to defeat him. Oh man, that was too close. I better get to work. On day 3, I got to work starting to build my new base. Since rabbits live underground, I thought it'd be cool to build out a bunch of tunnels underground. It was a lot of hard work, but soon, the base was all set up. Alright, the base is done, but I don't see any more bunnies. I better go look for them. I headed off into the forest, but I could hear someone up ahead. On top of a tree, I could see a little squirrel. Hey, what's going on? What are you doing up there?
I'm up here hiding from the big bad wolf. You better watch out too.
The big bad wolf? Oh man, he sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we stick together? It'll be safer.
I think that's a great idea.
On days 4 to 5, the squirrel and I headed into the forest to get some more materials. As we explored the forest, we came across some more friends. The first animal we saw was a raccoon. Hey, have you heard of the big bad wolf?
Yeah, that guy's a real jerk, but he's been leaving me alone for the most part. I don't know if I want to get involved. Sorry.
Well, I hope you change your mind. The squirrel and I kept going through the forest until we came across a bear and her cubs. Uh-oh, I hope that bear won't eat us. I took a deep breath and walked up to the bear. Hey, do you know the big bad wolf?
Yeah, but why would I care about that guy? He doesn't bug me and I don't bug him. Say, you're looking a little tasty.
Okay, well, thanks for telling me about it. Talk to you later. Bye. The squirrel and I got out of there. I didn't want to risk anything else wanting to hunt me. As we got deeper into the forest, we started to chop down some trees.
Hey you!
I turned around and looked up into the tree. A monkey was looking down at me. Yeah, what's up?
That's my tree. What do you think you're doing, chopping down my tree?
The monkey was mad, but I only needed a little bit of wood. It didn't matter to him though, and he jumped down and charged.
You're gonna pay for this.
Uh-oh, if this monkey hit me, I was a goner. But just then, the squirrel jumped in and helped me out. Together, we were able to put up a good fight. The monkey wasn't gonna be able to hurt both of us. By working together, we were able to defeat him. Sorry, Mr. Monkey, I didn't want to fight you, but you left me with no choice. On day 6 through 8, the squirrel and I continued through the forest. We were feeling pretty good about ourselves. We had had a couple of victories, and we were getting a lot of supplies. We'd even met a few of the other animals. As I kept wandering through the forest, though, I heard something scary up ahead. As we got closer, we saw the source of the noise. It was the fox, and he had a group of bunnies cornered.
You have nowhere to run, and now I'm going to eat you.
Oh no, I can't let him eat those other bunnies. But what am I supposed to do? I can't take him on by myself. That's when I remembered I wasn't by myself. I had my squirrel friend with me. Let's do this! The squirrel just started to charge. He didn't even wait for me. Wait, what are you doing?
Oh, a little appetizer.
The fox took one swing, and the squirrel was immediately defeated. Oh no, my friend!
Looks like there's another snack over there for me too.
The fox took one look at me, but I had to get out of there. I'm not gonna be his dinner today. I'm sorry, other bunnies, but you're on your own for this one. I ran as fast as I could, straight back to my burrow. I couldn't risk having him find out where I lived, or worse, eating me. I was just gonna have to help those other bunnies out another day. I feel bad about leaving all those bunnies behind, but what was I gonna do? I'm just not strong enough. On days 9 to 11, I was feeling bad about running away, but I wasn't strong enough to fight. As I ran through the forest, I came across an abandoned village. Oh look, a ton of carrots. I gathered up as many carrots as I could. There was even a bunch of wheat and pumpkins too. I decided this would be a good place to spend the night. In the middle of the night, I woke up to a strange sound outside. Oh no, there's a bunch of skeletons out there. I ran out of the house with my sword in hand. There was no way I was going to back down this time. I charged out of the house, swinging my sword. I'm not scared of you. I kept swinging until one by one, all of the skeletons were destroyed. Man, these fights are terrifying when you only have one heart, but I feel better now that I've won a fight. Even though I had won the fight, I was too scared to go back to bed, so I decided to spend the night looking through the rest of the village. I found some more food, as well as some other supplies. I even found a whole stash of iron. Awesome, now I can start making some iron gear. I ran back over to the crafting table and put together an iron chest plate and equipped it. On day 12, I emerged from my house in the village and headed back into the forest. I was running through the woods when I saw a carrot on the ground up ahead. Oh, what luck, a free carrot. As I continued through the forest, I saw there were even more carrots. I decided to keep picking them up. I was going to need as many as I could get. Just then, I picked up one of the carrots and suddenly fell through a trapdoor. Whoa! I landed inside a small room and there were several other rabbits looking at me. Hi guys, what's going on?
You're not the big bad wolf.
I turned around and saw a large elderly bunny looking down at me. No sir, I'm not. What's going on around here?
I see you're new around here. Let me explain. For years, the forest was a beautiful and peaceful place. All the animals were happy, living in harmony. The wolf would try to hunt us, but we could always get away. Then one day, something changed. The wolf had discovered some kind of magic, which he used to give himself a cloaking ability. Suddenly, we could no longer hide because we didn't know when he would attack. We have been in hiding ever since.
No, how can we stop him?
There is an ancient relic known as the Rad Glasses, crafted by our bunny ancestors. Its pieces have been scattered across the land, but if you bring them to me, I can craft them anew. They will allow you to see the wolf, even when he cloaks. Do you think you can help us?
Not very strong, but I'll do my best. On days 13 to 15, I had arrived back at my base and made a couple improvements to the inside. Then I went outside and started working on a farm and planted some of the carrots I'd collected. It wasn't much, but it was a place to call home. I needed to get some sand though, so I headed off to the desert to gather some. I managed to get a bunch of it when suddenly a group of rattlesnakes came slithering up behind me. Hey guys, can I help you? The rattlesnakes just stared at me, then they attacked. Hey, that's not very nice. Luckily their bite wasn't too bad because I still only had a heart. I was able to keep moving and I took them all out. Suddenly I felt a burst of energy and I grew into a bigger killer bunny. And look, now I have 5 hearts. I'm feeling way better already. On day 16 to 19, I returned back to the base and made a few adjustments now that I had gotten a little bigger and stronger. Later, as I was harvesting some of my crops, I saw a squirrel walking up to the base.
Hey, I've been looking for you.
Hey there, what's up?
I saw you were with my sister when that fox attacked her. She seemed to trust you, so I want to help you too, for my sister.
I'll take all the help I can get, and I'm sorry for what happened. I'm much stronger now and won't be running away from anything. We then set off, making some more improvements to the base. It turned out the squirrel's name was Rocky, and he was happy to help. After we had finished upgrading parts of the base, he pulled me aside for a chat.
Thanks again for letting me help, Zozo. I had an idea for the base. I think we should build something that will make the other bunnies know that this is a safe place.
Oh, I know just what to make, but we're gonna need a lot of orange dye. We ran off into a flower field and got to work grabbing as many orange tulips as we could to make the dye. On days 20 to 22, we were heading back to our base when the fox popped out from around the corner.
Ah, the bunny that got away. I'm gonna get you this time.
You aren't hurting anyone this time. I jumped into battle and started swinging away at the fox. Rocky Rocky jumped into the fight too. With my new strength, the fox didn't stand a chance. We beat him easily. Nice going, Rocky. How did he find our base?
I don't know. The only thing I can think of is that he must have seen me and followed me here. Sorry about that.
That's okay, but it reminds me, we need to start looking for the parts to those special glasses. Do you have any ideas of where we could look?
I've got one idea, but before we get there, we're gonna need some serious upgrades first.
On days 23 to 26, I was deep underground looking for resources. Luckily for me, I was able to find a bunch of iron, as well as some coal. This is just what I needed. Now I can finish making my iron armor. I took some of the stone I had collected and used it to craft a furnace. Then I added the coal and iron to smelt myself some iron bars. Once the iron bars were complete, I used them to craft myself iron tools, including an iron sword. Then I used the rest to finish crafting my iron armor. Now I'm really powered up. I decided to keep exploring the cave when I suddenly ran into a group of zombies. Try and fight me now, you flesh heads. The zombies could pack a punch, but they were no match for my new gear. I swung my sword and was able to take them out. I kept going down the tunnel when a spider dropped down from the ceiling. Oh, gross, spiders are disgusting. As the spider charged at me, I swung my sword. He managed to get a couple bites in, but he couldn't do much against my armor. Soon enough, it was defeated. I wonder what's going to be at the end of the tunnel. Up ahead, I could see something glowing in the distance. What could it be? I walked into a large open room and subscribe? Hey, it's not a bad idea. If you love going on these adventures as much as I do, I'd love for you to hit the button and the bell. That way, you'll never miss out. On days 27 to 31, Rocky and I headed into the woods to look for the first crafting item we'd need for the glasses. I could hear a noise up ahead when suddenly a wolf hopped up on some stone blocks, blocking our path.
Ooh, a delicious bunny. The big bad wolf isn't going to mind if I eat you myself.
Go on and hide, Rocky. I can take this guy. The wolf and I charged at each other. He was pretty strong, but so was I. He snarled and bit, getting some hits in. He even got me down to half a heart. But I knew I could win. Your bark is worse than your bite. I gave one more swing and took him out. As he disappeared, I saw he dropped some kind of special item. What's this? I picked it up and saw it was a fire rod. Oh, cool. I wonder what this will do. Later on, I was walking along the water when a crocodile popped out and attacked me. I swung my fire rod, immediately catching him on fire. Whoa, nothing like a well-roasted croc for dinner. The crocodile panicked and jumped back into the water. Yeah, you'll think twice about messing with me next time. On days 32 to 35, Rocky and I arrived in the Badlands. Rocky had told me he had seen something strange in the area and thought it would be worth checking it out. As we rounded the corner, I saw a weird sign. Let the water lift you up. What does that mean? There was a nearby lever, so I gave it a flick and nothing happened.
What happens when you jump in the water?
Rocky jumped into the water, but there was no effect. I don't think that's it. Let's try hitting one of these buttons. Rocky clicked on one of the buttons on the wall and an arrow came flying out right over Rocky's head. Whoa, I don't think that's it. I guess I'll give this other one a try. I nervously reached forward and hit the button and some redstone dust popped out.
Look, you can put the dust here to complete the circuit.
I walked over by Rocky and put down the redstone dust. Then I flipped the switch. This time, a column of water came pouring down. That did the trick. I jumped into the column of water and swam to the very top. When I reached the top, there was a chest. Inside of the chest, there were some different brick blocks, as well as one glowstone. This isn't exactly what I was expecting.
Zozo, up here.
I followed Rocky up another flight of stairs and saw some glasses frames at the top. This is just what we were looking for. The first piece. The Elder Rabbit will be excited to see this. On days 36 to 39, Rocky and I returned back to the base. First things first, I needed to craft a new fence. I couldn't risk another attack by the big bad wolf gang, or worse, the wolf himself. By using some of the brick, I was able to make a nice perimeter fence. Once that was complete, Rocky and I worked together to make him his own place too. Thanks for all your help so far, Rocky. I think it'll be good for you to have your own place.
I'm happy to be here. Let's build a pen and get some sheep. That way we can work on the statue.
Good idea. Rocky and I headed into the forest and managed to find a herd of sheep. Using leads, we roped them up and led them back to their new pen. With the sheep all locked up, I then took some orange dye and got to work dyeing all of the sheep orange. Orange, you guys glad you're not dinner? I went ahead and sheared all of the sheep, then collected all of the orange dye. From there, Rocky and I headed off to find a good spot to build the statue. Once we found a suitable location, we got to work clearing a space, building up a base, then working on the statue itself. After a bit, the first part was complete. Nice job, Rocky. This is a good spot to stop. As we were taking down the scaffolding, a group of parrots walked up to us.
Hey, you're a bunny. You must be against the big bad wolf then.
You'd be correct. What's up?
We've been on the run ever since the wolf started cloaking. Nowhere feels safe.
I know what you mean, but there's safety in numbers. You guys should come join us at our base.
That's just what we need. We'll go gather our things and then we'll meet you there.
I told them where to go, and they headed off. Back at the base, Rocky and I got to work building them their own house to stay. I couldn't believe the wolf was even hunting birds. We'd do our best to keep them safe. I started days 40 to 43 by putting in some paths throughout the base. The next morning, I got to work harvesting the carrots and planting some pumpkins. Then I filled the rest of the spots with carrots. We've got a lot of new friends starting to show up. I've got to be sure everyone is well fed. Just then, the parrots walked up and I finally got to show them the place I had built for them. They were really excited to have a safe place to rest. After they took a look around, their leader came to talk to me.
You're looking for the parts of the rad glasses, right? The ones that let you see the invisible wolf?
I am. Do you know something about their parts?
Only rumors. I've really only heard about one of the parts, that is. But I don't know if you're gonna love where you have to go to find it.
I'll do whatever it takes. On days 44 to 49, I was getting ready to leave my base for the new location. I think it'll be better for you to stay here, Rocky. I don't know if this will be the best place for a squirrel. Rocky understood and agreed to work on the base while I was gone. After a long journey, I finally arrived in the area the parrot had told me about. Oh man, it's freezing here. No wonder the parrot said I wouldn't like it. Just then, I stumbled across an abandoned igloo. This will be a great place to stop and rest. As I left the igloo though, I was suddenly attacked by a snow leopard. Whoa, where did you come from? The snow leopard was vicious. He had giant fangs and powerful claws. He must have set this camp up as a trap. I'll never let the wolf and his allies win. I swung with all my power and took him out. It's a good thing I upgraded all my armor before I left. Otherwise, I'd be rabbit stew. On days 50 to 53, I had finally made it out of the cold and arrived at the place the parrot had mentioned. As I walked up to the tower, I saw there were two wolves standing guard. Hey, can I come in?
No.
Well, that was a short conversation. I don't know why I even bothered asking. They're wolves. Of course they'll just attack me. This wolf was just a junior guard, so I finished him off easily. You're not getting in my way either. I turned and attacked the other guard too, who didn't put up much of a fight, and I defeated him in no time. All right, let's get that glasses part. I climbed to the top of the tower, but there was another wolf waiting for me. This one was stronger than the others. By using my fire rod though, I managed to light him on fire and eventually take him out, nearly losing my life in the process.
Hey there, can you help me out?
I took out my axe and started chopping away at the nearby cage. There was no part for the glasses, but there was a bunny trapped inside.
Thanks for breaking me out. Let me guess, you were looking for a piece of the glasses.
Yeah, I was. Do you know anything about it?
I was here looking for it too, but I guess it got moved to a dungeon far away from here. That's what I heard the henchmen saying anyway.
Shoot, that is in the complete opposite direction. Well, might as well stop at my base in the meantime. Feel free to join me there. The rabbit agreed, and we headed off for the base. On days 54 to 57, the bunny and I arrived back at the base, which was on fire. Oh no, what's going on? As I got closer, I could see that the base was being attacked by a pack of wolves. Standing outside the base, I could see the big bad wolf. He was giving orders to his men. The wolf gang headed into the base and rounded up all the parrots. They were taking them prisoner. I don't have the glasses yet, but I have to do something. I sprinted into the base, sword in hand. The wolves attacked. Get out of my home. We never did anything to you. One by one, I cut down all the wolves. Soon enough, the only one left was Mr. Big Bad. You're gonna pay for this. I charged at the big bad wolf, leaping into the air, when suddenly he disappeared. Ah, you coward. I'll find you. On days 58 to 62, I took a look around at all of the damage. I couldn't believe I didn't keep everyone safe. As I walked around, I could see that everyone was gone. That's when I heard a noise from under the table. Rocky, what are you doing under there?
Zozo, I was so scared, but this was all my fault. I told the wolves where the base was. He had captured my squirrel friend and said he would hurt him if I didn't tell him where to go.
Rocky, you should have told me. We could have rescued your friend together.
I know, I'm so sorry. In the end, he didn't let my friend go and just took away all of our new friends. I hope you can forgive me.
I felt bad for Rocky. I could tell he was sorry. It's okay. I know you just wanted to help your friend. We can figure it out together. In the meantime, though, we better go get some supplies to rebuild the base. From there, I headed into the mines and managed to find plenty of iron, as well as some gold and coal. I smelted down all of the iron and used it to make some iron bars. Then I headed out to the river and scooped up a bunch of clay. I then used the clay to make more bricks. At long last, I headed outside and replaced the fence with iron bars, while also repairing any other holes with the bricks. It took a while, but soon, the defenses were complete. Those wolves are gonna have a heck of a time breaking in again. On days 63 to 66, I told the bunny and Rocky to hang back at the base while I headed out to the dungeon. This could be dangerous, and I didn't want to lose any more friends. The journey was a long one, and I passed through all kinds of different terrain. As I was passing over a mountain, I saw a wolf in the distance, just as it destroyed a baby elephant. It was the big bad wolf. What have you done? I charged at the wolf, but he disappeared again. What kind of monster would attack an innocent elephant? As I looked down, the elephant's mom came over the hill.
What have you done to my baby?
No, it wasn't me. It was the big bad wolf. The elephant didn't care, and she attacked. I took a few swings to keep her back as I tried to explain, but she wasn't listening. My only option was to run away as fast as I could. On days 67 to 70, I could see the entrance to the cave up ahead. It looked really dark and scary. This must be it. Who knows what's waiting for me inside? I entered the cave and soon found out. Waiting for me was was a group of skeletons. Ah, why are you guys so creepy? The skeletons swung their swords and shot their arrows as I jumped around, hitting them with my sword. They got some hits in, but I was able to take them all out. I headed deeper into the caves and saw a spawner. Let's just get rid of this. I can't fight these mobs off for forever. On days 71 to 74, I pushed further into the mines when I saw some diamonds.
Wow.
Oh, those would help me so much. I quickly put up a bridge to cross over when suddenly the wall exploded and a zombified piglin came bursting through. Whoa! I quickly pulled out my fire rod and lit him up. He lit on fire, but my fire rod broke. Ouch, he's so strong. I swung with my sword as my health dropped, finally taking him out. As he disappeared, he dropped something. I picked it up, a diamond hammer. This thing is powerful, and I'm getting it just in time too. Excited about my new weapon, I headed back over to the diamonds and mined them out, being careful not to drop them in the lava. With the diamonds in hand, I put down a crafting table and made myself a pair of diamond leggings to replace my iron ones. Maybe we can make it through here after all. On days 75 to 78, I had finally reached a big empty room. There was a chest on the other side. Hello? Looks like this place is deserted. I walked over to the chest when suddenly I heard a thump behind me. I turned around and saw a giant spider had dropped down from the ceiling. Oh, hey man, you mind if I grab what's in the chest and leave?
You wish, buddy boy. You're not getting out of here alive.
I thought you might say something like that. Just then, the spider leaped forward and attacked. I got hidden, but not before he started shooting his webs at me. Oh boy, this isn't going to be as easy as I was hoping.
Looks like it's time to get my very own lucky rabbit foot.
That's just a weird thing to say. The spider charged at me, but I was ready. I jumped out of the way, causing him to jump into the pool of lava. I'll keep my feet, thanks. Just then, I felt the energy surge through me, and I leveled up into a buff bunny man. Whoa, I have 10 hearts now too. I went over to the chest and opened it. Inside were the lenses to the rad glasses, along with a bunch of diamonds. I can't wait to see what the Elder Rabbit can do with these. On days 79 to 84, I arrived at the Elder Rabbit's house. Sir, I've got everything you need to remake the rad glasses.
Zozo, well done, well done. This is just what we needed.
The Elder Rabbit quickly turned to his enchanting table and assembled the glasses, imbuing them with special power. He turned and tossed them back to me.
Take these and take courage. The hope of all bunny kind rests with you now. We know you can do it.
Thank you. I'll give it everything I've got. I turned and left his house. Time to get ready for the final fight. On days 85 to 89, I arrived back at the base and saw the Rabbit and Rocky had done a great job improving it. Nice job, you guys. This place looks amazing.
Thanks, Zozo. We had a lot more creatures come and join us, so we had to build them all a place to stay.
Aren't they scared?
Yes, but they believe in you and know this is the safest place for them to be.
I sure hope so. That reminds me, we better finish our special project. There could be more creatures out there. Rocky and I headed back out to our statue and got to work finishing it up. This carrot was going to be a beacon to all the animals in the area that this was a safe place. It didn't take long, and we were soon finished. Now let's go get prepped. We've got some wolf butt to kick. On days 90 to 94, I was back in the base, putting together some diamond armor. I used the diamonds I had found in the dungeon, as well as some additional ones Rocky had found in the cave. I better go check the chest too. Rocky said he had some stuff for me in there. I opened the chest and saw it was full of healing potions. I grabbed them all and added them to my inventory. I'm feeling pretty stacked. Let's go wolf hunting. On days 95 to 96, I ran across the land in the direction of the wolf's base. It wasn't too long until I hit a river. The wolf's base was supposed to be further downstream, so I chopped down a nearby tree and built myself a boat. As I paddled down the river, I soon entered a dense jungle. It wasn't too long until I came across my first wolf. Hey, leave that cat alone! I ran ashore and started swinging, saving the cat.
Thank you. I thought I was a goner for sure.
No problem. I'm just glad you're okay.
You're so nice. Here, follow me. I saw something I think you'll find useful.
Cat set off into the trees as I followed close behind. We soon reached a small stone building covered in cobwebs. I cut down the webs and opened the chest inside. A trident and a shield. You're right. These will help a ton. Thank you.
Happy to help. I owe you after all.
I invited the cat to stay at my base, to which he happily agreed. I decided to give the trident a test, sticking it into the nearby tree. This thing is awesome. It's definitely going to help in the fight. I headed back to my boat and kept rowing down the river. Suddenly, the crocodile from before popped out. This guy again. I thought I taught him a lesson the last time. The crocodile lunged at me, catching me in his jaws. Oh, let me go! I swung my sword as he kept trying to do damage to me. This guy was tough. Let's see how you like this. I took out my trident and threw it, spearing him into oblivion. Better luck next time, pal. On days 97 to 98, I was rowing down the river when I saw my stop up ahead. I jumped out of the boat and started climbing the mountain. The wolf's lair soon came into view. As I got closer, a couple of wolves attacked. Sorry guys, but you picked the wrong guy for a boss. By using my sword, trident, and shield, I managed to fend them off. I entered the mansion, and more wolves attacked. They were vicious, but they were no match for my new armor and weapons. One by one, I took them out. Let's see, where could this guy be? I'll check the basement. I headed down the stairs and saw a tarantula at the end of the hallway, who charged. What's with this guy and spiders? The tarantula managed to stick me with a stinger, which poisoned me. It was doing damage, so I had to be quick. Luckily, I was able to take him out as the poison wore off. Let's try upstairs instead. I headed to the second floor as a couple of wolf guards came charging at me. I could tell these guys thought they were cool, but they couldn't get past my shield. Guess they weren't the smartest couple of doggos. I managed to take them both out. I was rounding one of the corners when a monkey came running up to me. Hey you! Oh hey, wow, you sound just like me. That's because I am you, from the other video. Oh yeah, the video where I survived 100 days as a monkey. That's right. Yeah, I just wanted to stop by and tell people they should come watch my monkey adventure after they finish this one. I think they'll like it. I agree. That was a crazy adventure. Tell Chim Chim I say hi. I will. Good luck with the wolf. Thanks. Wow, what a nice guy. On day 99, I reached the top floor of the lair where the big bad wolf was sitting on his throne, waiting for me.
Well, 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 if it isn't the little bunny who cried wolf.
You think you're so strong, but you attack bunnies who can't see you. You're a coward.
Is that so? Now you're just making me angry, and I was already hungry. You won't like me when I'm hangry.
The wolf leaped forward and attacked. He was strong, but I was ready. He got a few bites in, but I landed some blows of my own. I could tell he wasn't expecting me to be so strong.
Let's see how you like this.
The wolf started summoning in some smaller wolves who I was able to easily outmaneuver and defeat. Then I hit the wolf with my sword, causing him to retreat. Still a coward, hiding behind others to fight for you, I see.
I'm not a coward. I'm just powerful. Enough games. This ends now.
Suddenly, the wolf disappeared and started to attack me. And now you're cloaking? You're just proving me right. The wolf reappeared on his throne.
Who cares? You'll be gone soon. No one can stop me when I use my powers.
I quickly grabbed my rad glasses and put them on. The wolf used his cloaking power again, but I could still see him.
What? How did you hit me?
Not so invisible after all, are you?
How dare you?
The wolf let out a flurry of attacks, which caught me off guard, nearly taking all of my health. Maybe I was being a little too cocky. He only had to hit me one more time, and I was done for.
Zozo!
I looked over and saw Rocky standing by the stairs.
Catch!
He threw a splash potion at me, which immediately restored all of my health.
No!
I pulled out my trident and threw it at the wolf, destroying him for good. Rocky, I can't believe you followed me here. I'm glad you did, though. You saved the day. But our work here isn't done yet. On day 100, I headed down into the basement and used my hammer to break the animals out of their cages. Be free, my friends. It's safe now. After I had broken all of the animals out, I stood by the door of the mansion as the creatures ran to freedom. Sometime later, I was back at my base, surrounded by all my new friends. Thanks for all of your help, and I'll catch you in my next adventure. On day 1, I spawned in as a stray cat. I've only got a few hearts, but look how quick I am. I noticed that I was starting to feel hungry, so I immediately started looking for food. As I explored, I soon saw a small village up ahead. I checked one of the houses and noticed that there was some meat on the table. Oh, perfect, just what I need. I hopped up on the table and grabbed it.
Hey, get out of my house!
The human clearly didn't want me here. I wasn't ready for a fight, so all I could do was run. I kept running until I was back in the woods from before. Why was he so mean to me? This is going to be a hard 100 days if no one wants to be my friend. I kept exploring the woods when I saw a group of cats up ahead. More cats! Hi, guys!
Oh hey, you must be new around here. We were just trying to figure out how we were going to get some dinner.
You're telling me. I just took some meat from one guy's house and he chased me all around. But here, I'll share it with you guys. The cats were really thankful and excited about the meat. They must have been really hungry. I was glad to have met them. We were going to have all kinds of great adventures together. Before we had realized it, night had fallen. That was when we were suddenly attacked by a zombie.
Quick, into the trees.
My new cat friends had all climbed into the trees, but I wasn't fast enough. I had no choice but to fight. Luckily, the zombie wasn't very strong, and I was able to fight him off. But that was just one, and a whole group of skeletons were suddenly on me. I've got to get away! I ran off and soon saw a thick tree. I hurried and punched a hole in it where I was able to crawl inside, away from the skeletons. That was way too risky. I'll have to stay in here for the night. On day 2, I woke up to one of my new cat friends punching a hole in the tree.
Come on, Zozo, we've got to start looking for food.
What do you mean? I thought cats got to lay around and be lazy all day.
That's just house cats. Strays like us have to work hard all day to survive. Come on.
I hopped out of the tree and got to work punching some trees and collecting wood. With the wood I collected, I made a crafting table, then used the crafting table to make a wood pickaxe, shovel, axe, and sword. I'm gonna have to get even more wood if I'm gonna make myself a proper base. Using my new wood axe, I got to work chopping down some more wood. That's when I heard the sound of a spider and was suddenly attacked. Back off, you creepy crawler. The claws were still stronger than a wooden sword, so I swung them and managed to take the spider out. Not too much later, even more spiders attacked. I was really quick and nimble, so I had no problem taking them out too. Alright, that's enough spider fighting. I need to get working on that base. I climbed up a nearby tree and started working on a treehouse. It was hard enough that we would have to scrounge for food. We didn't need to be constantly fighting off mobs too. Speaking of food though, I saw a small bird had landed on the other side of my treehouse. Ooh, that bird looks delicious. I positioned myself, then sprang forward, missing the platform. There was a loud crunch as I hit the ground. I landed on my feet, but falling from a big height still hurt. To my surprise though, my health started going up. That's when a counter appeared, showing that my 9 lives were now down to 8. Just then, my cat friend came running over.
Oh, thank goodness. I heard you fall and was worried it might have been your last life.
Nope, I've still got 8 to go.
Oh, well, you're lucky. The rest of us have been strays for a while, and we're all down to our last one. Hopefully you're never in our position.
There was no time to talk though, as suddenly a pack of wolves came out of nowhere and attacked.
Zozo, run!
We all split up and ran off in different directions. Why were these wolves chasing us?
Come here, you little snack.
Oh, because they wanted to eat us. Of course. I managed to jump into my tree and climb up to the top. Thankfully, the wolves were too big to fit in my tree.
You got away this time, but we'll be back. You can't get away from our boss.
I didn't like the sound of that, but at least for now, they were leaving me alone. As long as I can climb trees, I'm sure I'll be safe. Later, my cat friends climbed up with me, and together we all watched the sunset. At least we all had each other. On day 3, I woke up to a terrifying sound. The sound of wolf howls. It was scary, but we were still safe in the trees. But that's when I saw him. What is that? A giant wolf monster was headed our way. This must be the other wolf's boss.
You can't hide from me.
The monster wolf climbed up the side of the tree, up onto our platform. Watch out, guys, run! We all ran off in different directions, but it was too late. The wolves managed to get all of my friends, knocking them out one by one. No, my friends! There was nothing more I could do. Somehow I was the lucky one, and they didn't notice me up in the tree. As the wolves left, all I could think about was how alone I felt. Those wolves are gonna pay for what they've done. Mark my words. On days 4 to 5, I woke up in my unfinished base. It's not safe here in the forest. I'll have to find a new place to live. I left the forest and headed off. I had heard once that cats were originally desert animals, so I decided I would find a desert far from here to live in. I'm sure wolves won't like the desert heat too. A desert will be twice as safe. As I entered the desert, I decided that I was going to build the greatest cat tower the world had ever seen. Plus, it would be really safe to live in. Triple safety. If I'm gonna do this, I've gotta get stone, and lots of it. I found myself a nice cave and snuck down into it, mining up as much stone as I could. While I was down there, I also made sure to grab some coal that could be used to power my furnace later. Let's get crafting. Using a crafting table, I used my new stone to make myself a stone pickaxe. I also made myself a stone shovel, sword, and axe. Next up, wood. I needed tons of wood, so much that I cleared out an entire area of trees. With my inventory now full of all the building supplies I needed, I started to build the first level of my cat tower that would also double as my starter base. Once I had finished the outside, I got to work filling up the inside. I put up some pictures as well as all the tables I was going to need. Soon, the first level was complete. All right, I think this is going to be a very safe place for me to live. Just as I was saying that, there was an explosion that blew a hole in my wall. What was that? I took a closer look and saw that the base was under attack by creepers. Luckily, there was only one more, so I tried to fight it off. It exploded too, but at least it didn't cause any additional damage to the base. Looks like I better put some torches out. I got right to work, surrounding the base with as many torches as I could. I didn't even want to risk having more creepers blowing me up in the night. Once all the torches were out, I was feeling a little hungry. That's when I saw some desert rabbits hopping around nearby. Dinner! I ran around after the rabbits until I finally managed to take one down. I cooked the meat back at the base, then chowed down. That sure was tasty, but I'm gonna have to find out an easier way to eat if I'm going to live here much longer. On day 6 to 8, I got up and headed out the door. It was enough delay. I needed to start getting ready to fight back against the wolves. It wasn't too long and I found myself heading down into a cave. Time to find some iron. Just inside the cave were several iron veins, so I got right to work mining them all out. After a while, I had gotten plenty of iron, and I heard a growl behind me. Who's there?
What are you doing in my cave? Leave now or I'll be forced to take you down.
Please, I just wanted to collect some iron. These evil wolves destroyed all of my friends, and now I have nowhere to call home.
I know your pain. My family was taken from me when I was young too. Not by wolves, but by poachers at a nearby village. I've been all alone ever since.
Why don't you take revenge on those poachers? Have you seen yourself? You're a big, powerful lion.
I never really thought about it. I guess I didn't realize just how big I've gotten.
Yeah, let's do it. Although first I've got to drop this stuff off at my base. You can come along if you'd like. The lion and I ran back over to my base. When we arrived, the lion was impressed.
Wow, this is quite the place you've got here. Much better than my cold cave.
Thanks. Give me a bit here to get ready to go. I tossed the iron I had collected into the furnace and smelted it all down. When it was done, I got crafting and made myself a full set of iron armor. I even made myself a full set of iron equipment, which the lion was really impressed by. Turned out he was actually really nice. Oh, and his name was Lenny. On days 9 to 10, Lenny and I traveled to the village where the poachers were living. As soon as we got there, we could see the poachers. There were tons of small animals in cages, and they even had the lion's family's heads mounted on the wall. These guys were sick. Lenny wasted no time and attacked. I tried to jump in too so that I could help as much as possible. Lenny was so strong and managed to take most of them out. Suddenly, a couple of poachers surrounded him, and it wasn't looking good. Heads up! I jumped down from above and managed to take out the poachers. There were a few more left, but together we were able to take them all out. Nice job, Lenny. I know it can't replace your family, but at least justice has been served.
Thank you for encouraging me, Zozo. I feel much better than I did before. I also feel hungry. These little birds look delicious.
Oh, hang on. I know we like to eat meat, but these guys don't deserve the same fate as your family. Let's let them go. Lenny was disappointed but agreed, so we let them all out of their cages. I'm pretty sure some of them got away from Lenny just a little faster than they normally would have. We then headed over to the nearby farm and gathered up as many seeds as we could. If we really wanted to help animals, it looked like we might have to get used to a little more grain in our diets. Except when it comes to chickens. I took out a few chickens to eat later. I was still a carnivore after all. With all that out of the way, I asked Lenny if he wanted to live at my base with me, to which he happily agreed. Back at the base, I got right to work making Lenny his own bedroom. I felt bad he had been living in a cold cave alone all this time, so I did my best to make it really nice. On days 11 to 12, I went to find Lenny to ask him some questions. I asked him if he knew anything about the huge wolf that had taken out his family, but he said he wasn't sure. There was, however, a wise elephant that I could ask. I made my way to a nearby savanna to find the elephant. I tried asking all the animals I passed, but none of them seemed to know who I was talking about. As I was looking, I was suddenly attacked by a pack of hyenas. Leave me alone, you giggle freaks! I managed to hurt some of the hyenas. There were way too many of them. I was still just a little cat and had to get out of there. I managed to make it out of there, which is when I saw a baby elephant. Oh, I bet they know something. I ran over to them. Hey, I'm looking for a wise old elephant. Do you know where I can find them?
I do. Come with me. I can show you.
As we traveled, I noticed she seemed kind of sad. I soon found out why. We arrived in an elephant graveyard, and she brought me to a grave.
This is the elephant you are looking for. She was my grandmother and raised me after my parents died. I'm sorry to say, but she passed recently.
I'm sorry to hear that. I heard she was able to help a lot of people.
She was. In fact, she taught me how to help people the way she did. She would look into the water and could see things.
Do you think you'd be able to help me? A wolf has been destroying all of my friends and their families. I need to find him and stop him.
I would, but I'm too scared to try it by myself.
Before I could say another word, though, the hyenas from earlier attacked. But this time I couldn't run away. I had to protect my new friend. As I was fighting the hyenas, the baby elephant ran away. It was a hard fight. These guys were strong and there were a lot of them. But I couldn't fail now. I mustered up the courage and destroyed them all. On days 13 to 15, I went off to search for the baby elephant. That fight must have really spooked her. I've got to let her know everything is okay. As I ran across the land, I soon saw her at the stream. She was really scared. Hey, I'm sorry about that back there, but everything is okay now.
You fought off all of those hyenas? That was really brave of you.
Thank you, but can I let you in on a little secret?
What's that?
I was actually really scared. They had attacked me before, and the first time, I ran away.
Really? Why didn't you run away this time?
I thought about it, but I knew you needed my help, so I did my best to be brave. The elephant thought about it for a bit.
Okay, I will try using my abilities. You want to see where the wolf lives? I'll see what I can do.
We looked into the stream, and she started to explain what she saw.
It looks like he built himself an ice fortress in the Great Tundra. He'll often lead his wolf pack out to attack other animals, like cats. But he isn't doing it for food. He's doing it for fun. This doesn't look good.
Thank you for doing that. I know it wasn't easy, but you were great. I have to defeat him, but I know I'm not strong enough yet. Say, what's your name?
Oh, it's Delilah.
Delightful. Would you want to come live at my base with me? It might feel safer there.
Well, thank you, but I feel like I'm not ready to leave the land of my grandma yet. But please, come see me anytime.
I thanked her and took off. As I was crossing the stream, though, I was suddenly attacked by a crocodile. I already hated water enough. Now there were things attacking me. Come on, you little snapper, leave me alone. I tried to run away, but he was too quick. It looked like my only option was to fight. It wasn't too long, and he managed to take me out. That's when I saw my life counter change from 8 lives to 7. Oh no, that's not good. Problem was, I still couldn't run. The croc was vicious and wouldn't leave me alone. Suddenly, I had lost another life. Oh, I can't take much more of this. Luckily for me though, I had been getting hits in, and even though he had taken 2 of my lives, I was able to finally take his. And he only had 1. And stay down. I decided to explore the bank a little more, and soon saw the nook where the crocodile must have been hiding. I looked inside and there was a chest. Oh, look at all these fish! My favorite food. And in the middle, there was a mystical fruit salad. I don't really like fruit, but I'll give it a go. I scarfed it down and it turns out, it was delicious. Just then, I felt some power surge through me and I got bigger with more hearts. Wow, maybe there's something to this eating fruit thing. On days 16 to 19, I arrived back at the base. I met up with Lenny and he told me that he was feeling really hungry. Hey, you can have some of this fish I just got. He was pretty happy about that. Then I decided I should start planting seeds, as we would need to have a good food source. I decided to build the farm into the tower, and thought that worked really well. This farm looks great. I was thinking about the fight with the crocodile, and how I had lost so many lives. I was going to have to be more careful. So to do that, I decided to craft myself a bow. That way I won't have to be so close to danger all the time. But first, I'm gonna need some string. I took off in the direction of a nearby cave, and soon found some spiders. The spiders weren't nearly as happy to see me as I was to see them, and in no time, I had gotten myself enough string to make my bow. Now that I had everything I needed, I was able to quickly put together a bow for myself. It was just in time too, because a black bear had walked up behind me. I hope this thing works. I started firing the bow, landing hits with my arrows. The bear was angry with me, but I was feeling way better with my ranged weapon. Soon enough, I had taken him out. On days 20 to 22, I had the urge to build. It was statue time. But in order to do that, I was gonna need some wool. I went and talked to Lenny about it, and he told me there was a herd of sheep nearby he was thinking of hunting. No, you can't hunt these guys. We'll need their wool. Lenny was disappointed, but agreed. He wasn't taking to a plant-based diet as easily as I was. I headed off in the direction Lenny had mentioned, and soon saw the sheep. I took out my wheat and led them back toward my base. When we arrived, I quickly put together a pen, then locked them all inside. That's when Lenny came around the corner.
Okay, dinner.
Lenny, wait! You promised you weren't going to eat them, remember? They're for wool, not food.
Ah, shoot. Fine.
Next up, I needed to get some dye to turn the sheep into the proper colors. I went to the plains biome and found some corn flowers. Using the flowers, I was able to make some blue dye and dye the sheep blue. Now it was time to get started. Using the wool, I started on the first part. I feel like this one is going to turn out even better than anything I've built so far, but you'll have to be the judge of that. Soon, the first part was complete. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, otherwise you'll miss out on all my future adventures. On days 23 to 26, I felt like it was time to learn more about this wolf monster and travel to the Arctic where he lived. As I got closer, I heard some wolf howls and hurried up into a tree to hide. I'm not letting them catch me off guard this time. Just then, I saw the wolves come by, and as they got closer, I saw that I had a good shot with my bow. If only there weren't so many of them. I decided it wasn't worth the risk, especially with the wolf monster there. But now I knew for sure that he lived here. As I watched them, I saw them go toward a snowy village. They attacked some of the villagers and took out their livestock. These guys were horrible. They continued through the village, taking everything out. When there was nothing left, they left the village. Why would they do something like this? Now that they were gone, I went to investigate the village. There were some crops here, and it didn't look like the villagers were going to be needing them anytime soon, so I picked up as much as I could. As I was going through the village, I suddenly ran into a baby wolf. What are you doing here?
Hey you, leave me alone or else. I'm super mean because I'm a wolf.
Look, buddy, you're not fooling anyone. All the other wolves are gone. Fight me if you want, but we know how it's gonna end.
Ah, shucks, you're right. If the other guys knew I was gonna get shown up by a cat, they'd bully me so bad, even worse than they already do. Why do you think I'm here? They're always leaving me behind and being so mean.
I couldn't help but feel bad for this little guy. Look, it's okay. I remember what it was like being a little cat. Why do you say you come join me instead? These guys don't sound like they really care about you.
You can say that again. You know what? I'm out of here. Just because we're all wolves doesn't mean I have to put up with them.
He was pretty fired up, but I was glad I could help him out. We took off, back to the base. On days 27 to 31, we arrived back at the base. The baby wolf, whose name was Willie, immediately tried to eat the sheep. Hang on, those are our friends, not food. Here, let me get you something. I tossed him some fish, which he was happy to have. That's when Lenny came walking up to us. It turned out he had really been starting to enjoy the veggie life and wanted to share some with us. We headed up to the garden and Lenny tossed some new food out for us. I took a bite. Oh wow, these are really good. You weren't joking. Just then, I grew a little bigger and gained more hearts. Well, would you look at that? Eating veggies is actually good for you. You get more hearts and stay healthy. Nice. I then realized that Willie had nowhere to stay, so I got busy building him his own section of the base. It wasn't big, but it would be perfect for him. Since Lenny was so interested in farming now, I decided I would put a barn together for him too. This way he could put all his farming tools in one place and hopefully continue to not eat the sheep. Soon, the build was complete. I was starting to run low on wood, so I headed over to the nearby birch forest to stock up. I collected all the wood I needed, then decided to head back. On my way back, I was suddenly attacked by a giant cockroach. How gross! If I would have known there were bugs like this here, I wouldn't have chosen to live here. I had managed to make my way into a tree where I was able to pick them off with the bow. But suddenly, Willie came running into the fight. Willie, no, stay back! Willie ignored me and kept fighting. But it turned out, he was actually a really good fighter. Soon, we had taken them out. Whoa, nice moves. Those other wolves better watch out. You'd be able to kick their butts. Willie told me I was being too nice, and we headed back to the base. Later on, I had gone into the mines where I found some iron. I figured Willie could use some armor, so I collected as much as I could. Back at the base, I smelted down the iron, then used the iron ingots to make him his very own set of iron armor. I went and gave it to him, which he was very excited about. On days 32 to 35, I woke up to the sound of meowing. Could that be more cats? I went to take a look and it turned out there were a bunch of cats out there. Oh, hey guys, how did you find me?
There's a giant cat tower in the middle of the desert. How could we miss it?
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. They asked if they could live here, and I of course agreed. That did leave me with a problem though. I couldn't fit all of them in my room. So I got right to work making them their own rooms at the top of the tower. I couldn't believe more cats were around. I would have to keep an eye out for some more of them. Once I had finished building their houses, I went to work on the statue with Willie. I had to get the next part done. If my cat tower was drawing people in, I'm sure a big statue would bring them in too. Soon, we finished the second part. Back at the base, I decided to check in with the cats. They had settled in nicely. Hey, do you guys know of any other cats? I'd love to help as many as I can.
Well, there is this one woman we had heard of who takes in cats and cares for them. We were actually on our way there when we found your base. You could try checking there.
They explained to me where I needed to go. I wanted to make as many cat friends as I could. We would be stronger together. On days 36 to 39, I arrived in the desert the cats had mentioned, but I didn't see a house anywhere. Let me see if someone can help me. I talked to every animal I ran into, hoping they could point me in the right direction. But everyone I talked to said they hadn't heard of her. That's when I suddenly stumbled upon a huge desert pyramid. Well, it's not the house I'm looking for, but maybe there's something useful in here. I headed into the pyramid, which is when I saw a horde of zombies at the bottom. Luckily, I still had my bow, so I used that to hurry and take most of them out. Then I jumped down and finished the rest of them off with my sword. As I explored, I came across more zombies, but I was able to fight them off. Just then, I saw a button with a sign next to it. Just a normal button, trust me. Okay, I hit the button and another button rose up out of the ground. I shrugged and hit that button. I heard a noise in the other room and ran over to see a hole had opened up in the ground. Oh, what could be down here? I went down in the hole and found another button. This is getting a little ridiculous. I hit the button, which revealed a hidden room full of gold. Wait, seriously? I thought for sure this must have been a trap. I entered the room and started picking up all of the loot. This was some good stuff. I checked the chest and saw there was an enchanting book for Punch 2. Oh, now my bow is really gonna be able to knock people back. I was feeling pretty good about things, so I headed back out of the pyramid, off to try and find the woman's house. On days 40 to 43, I was running through some hills when I saw a group of llamas. Hey, do you guys know where I could find a cat lady's house? To my luck, they knew exactly who I was talking about. Turns out the house was just over the hill. They told me to be careful though. The lady was pretty weird. I ran in the direction they had pointed and soon saw the house in the distance. I ran up to the house when a woman came running out.
Oh, it's another kitty! Here, kitty, kitty! Here, kitty, kitty!
Oh, wow, you're super friendly. I heard you had a bunch of cats here and I'd love to meet them.
Oh, yes, I love cats! They're the best! Maybe you can even stay here with me!
Oh, well, maybe. I've kind of got my own thing going, but I'd love to say hi to everyone.
Well, please come in. Let me show you around.
The woman led me into her house and showed me around to the different rooms. I could hear some cats, but none of the rooms we went into seemed to have any cats. Something seemed off, but maybe it was just how much she seemed to love cats.
And this final room is my favorite. It's where all the cats live.
Finally! I stepped into the room, but all of the cats were in cages. What was going on?
You can be my newest friend!
Suddenly, I was hit with a potion and went to sleep. On days 44 to 49, I woke up inside of one of the cages on the wall. The crazy cat lady had captured me. I tried my best to break out, but she had taken all of my tools. Is there anyone out there?
Yeah, man, I can hear you. Just give up. There's no way to get out of this place.
What do you mean? How did you guys end up here?
We all thought this was going to be a good place for us strays to live, but she keeps us locked up in cages. She likes cats, but she likes them so much, she never wants us to leave, even for a second.
The cat lady had come into the room and was going around feeding the other cats. This might be my moment to escape. As she came to my cage and opened it, I pounced. Out of my way, lady! I saw a chest nearby. My stuff must be in there. Inside, I could see I was right and tried to grab as much of it as I could, but it was no use as I was hit by another one of her potions, which put me back to sleep. I woke up again, back in the cage. Tried punching the walls again, but it was no use.
I told you, it's better just to give up. This is our life now.
How long have you been in here anyway?
Oh, I don't even remember anymore. It's been years.
Years? I can't be here for years. What's going to happen to all my friends without me? On days 50 to 53, I awoke in my cage to the sound of panting. It was Willie. Willie, what are you doing here?
Something about this cat lady seemed fishy to me, so I followed you, just in case.
Boy, am I glad you did. Willie opened the cage and I hopped out. I was free. I ran over to the chest and grabbed all my stuff. Just then, the cat lady came in.
Is that a wolf? I hate dogs and especially wolves. I'll take care of you.
The cat lady drank down a potion and turned into a witch. All right, Willie, we can take this lady. We all jumped into battle. She might have been crazy, but she was also crazy strong. Even with our combined power, we couldn't defeat her. Suddenly, I lost one of my lives. Oh shoot, now I'm down to 5. I can't let her beat me. I focused all of my energy and took her out. Just then, there was a surge of energy, and Willie leveled up. Whoa, Willie, look at you! You're even stronger than before! Willie was super excited. Next, we decided to take a look around the house and managed to find an enchanted diamond helmet. Oh, nice! I'm going to be even more protected than before. Maybe I can hold on to my remaining 5 lives now. I then met up with the other cats and invited them to come live at my base with me. They happily agreed, and we set off. On days 54 to 57, I made it back to the base and got right to work making additions to the base. With all the new cats, we were going to need some serious upgrades. They had spent so long in cages, I wanted to make sure they had a nice place to live. Soon, their room was complete. Later on, I was chatting with the cats when they told me how hungry they were. I was pretty much out of fish, and I couldn't ask them to stick to a plant-based diet. Although to be fair, Lenny had really gotten into it. Hang on, guys, I've got an idea. I headed back down to the base and went over to the water. Using my shovel, I dug out the land until I was able to connect the small pond near our base to the river. Now the water would run right by our front door, and fish could swim right up. I felt like it still needed something though, so I got to work building a fishing dock. We could store our fish and relax here, while the cats could cast a line into the water. Once the dock was complete, I led all the cats over to check it out. What do you guys think? We should be swimming in fish in no time. They were all happy as they threw their lines into the water. They'd never have to be hungry again. On days 58 to 62, I collected some wool off the sheep, then headed back over to the statue. I got to work on the next part. I'm sure it's pretty clear what I'm building at this point, but what do you think? Was this what you were expecting me to build? Once I had finished my work on the statue, I remembered I had gotten some enchanting books. Using my new book, I was able to add the punch enchantment to the bow. This will certainly pack a punch now. My bow was great, but I was going to need armor to match, so I left the base to go to a nearby mine. At the bottom of the mine, I could see a bunch of monsters, so I decided to take the new bow for a spin. It was working great, and I managed to take out a ton of them. Some of them got really close to me, but I still managed to take them out, one by one. Whew, hopefully there's not any more of them down here. I kept exploring and soon came across another group of creepers. Oh no, not more of these guys. I tried to take them out, but couldn't stop them all from exploding. Ouch! But what's that? I noticed the explosion had revealed an unnatural block and could hear skeletons on the other side. I broke a block, which revealed the entrance to a dungeon. On days 63 to 66, I knocked out the rest of the blocks and was immediately rushed by some skeletons. Oh, get out of here, you psychos! These skeletons were fast. It's a good thing I came prepared. They tried their best to take one more of my lives, but I managed to fight them all off. Alright, let's see what's going on back here. I entered the dungeon and could see more skeletons. Using my bow, I quickly fired at them and took them out. That's when I noticed a button in the middle of the room. What does this do? Unfortunately, it was a trap. More skeleton archers rose up from the ground. I was surrounded. They fired their arrows as I jumped to get out of the way. Luckily, I could take some cover, but even as I jumped out to hit them, it was still too hard. Oh, wait a second, they're stuck. I can just leave. I headed into the hallway. I guess whoever laid that trap didn't think it all the way through. I went and explored the hallways. I wasn't sure where to go next. Then I came across a sign that said treasure room. Oh, that sounds great to me. I ran into the hallway, falling into a hole. It was another trap. Oh man, I should have known that would happen. I landed in a stone room where there was no way out. Suddenly, the wall across from me started moving. I was going to get crushed. There's gotta be a way out. I noticed some different looking blocks and started mining. At the last second, I burst through and fell down another hole. This time though, I landed in a pool of water. Oh, this place is crazy. I've got to watch my step. Up ahead, I hit a button to open the door and walked through as lava fell from the ceiling. Luckily, I made it through the door quick enough before it could hurt me. The next room was full of lava with platforms I had to jump to. That would have been easy, except the place was full of skeleton archers. I tried to cross, but they knocked me into the lava. Ooh, hot, hot! I managed to crawl out before the lava burnt me to a crisp. I started shooting arrows at the skeleton, taking a couple of them out. That's when I noticed there was a chest and some diamonds up ahead. Oh, I've got to get to that. To reach it though, there was one more archer. I took careful aim and fired, taking him out. The treasure is all mine. I hopped the rest of the way up and opened the chest. Inside there was a diamond block as well as a bunch of diamonds. This is exactly what I was searching for. With everything out of the chest, I then mined out all of the diamonds in the wall. My pockets were now overflowing with goodies. Now how do I get out of here? I hopped across the room and saw a door, which I barely managed to get through after grabbing onto some vines. I swam up a waterfall and followed the hallways until I saw another room with a chest. Okay, there's gotta be a trap in here. I stepped forward slowly and set off a trap. That arrow nearly took my head off. I think there's only one way through. I took off at a sprint as the arrows flew by. Inside the chest was more diamonds, as well as some XP potions. I ran back through the traps, then loaded up on the XP. I went back through the hallways and soon saw another path through. I guess this must be the way out. I stepped forward when suddenly a bunch of lava came falling from the ceiling. trapping me inside the room. That was way too close. As I looked into the room though, I saw it was full of skeletons, including a big buff skeleton. There was no time to lose. I immediately started shooting my bow, taking out as many of them as I could. I got some hits in, but it was getting dicey. I didn't notice the buff skeleton had me in his sights, and after a good hit, he knocked out one of my lives. Oh no, now I only have 4 left. Over half of them are gone. I didn't have any other choice though. I had to keep fighting. I had managed to hit him a bunch, so he couldn't have had much health left. I hid behind a pole, then struck him with my claws, taking him out. Yeah, who's the tough guy now? And we'll just pretend that you didn't take one of my lives. That's when I noticed that I had actually picked up his head. Ooh, creepy. I wonder what else is in here. I ran around the room and saw a chest, which had an infinity enchantment in it, as well as some gold. In another chest, I also found a brand new bow. I knew just what to do next. At a nearby anvil, I added the infinity enchantment to my new bow, which gave me endless arrows. By now my pockets were filled with goodies, so I used some cobblestone to block the lava and left the dungeon. Back at the base, I stuck my mutant skeleton head above my door. Now everyone knows that this house belongs to one tough kitty. Now that I had a bunch of diamonds, I went over to the crafting table and got right to work, crafting myself an entire set of diamond armor. I was going to be super protected now. With the armor done, I also made myself a full set of diamond tools. It was just about time, as the iron tools just weren't going to cut it anymore. With all of the tools finished, I grabbed Willy and we got to work on the next part of the statue. It was time to add some details in, and I was excited to see how it was going to look. It didn't take too long, and we soon finished the next part. Back at the base, I was feeling like I was almost ready to take on the wolf monster, but asked Willy if he had any ideas of what I could do to power up.
Well, there's a special set of claws I've heard about. They're strong enough to rip through wolf hide.
That sounds like just what I need. Where do I find them?
There's a fort pretty far away from here that they are rumored to be in, but it's got some tough mobs defending it. I can show you the way.
That would be awesome. But first, let me go check with Lenny to see if he has any new veggies for me to take on the journey. I went up to the garden with Lenny, and he gathered me a fresh set of food. Thanks, buddy. You've gotten good at this. On days 71 to 74, Willy and I had reached a snowy taiga biome when suddenly we were attacked by a polar bear. I had just upgraded all of my gear, so the polar bear didn't really stand a chance against me. Together, we defeated him easily. Yeah, that was so easy. Suddenly, a bunch of polar bears came running out. Oh, this is not easy. The polar bears were really mad at us, and we were taking a lot of hits. This situation was all too familiar, and I suddenly lost another one of my lives. Oh no, only 3 left now. I had lost another life, but we had made good progress, and together, we were able to take out the last of the polar bears. It helped that Willy was now a full-grown wolf. We soon found a cave and settled in out of the cold. Thanks for coming along with me, Willy. I thought all wolves were bad, but you've shown me that's not the truth. Willy didn't say anything and started walking around in circles. It was kind of strange, but maybe he just wasn't comfortable expressing his feelings. It was getting pretty cold when Willy set out a campfire. Oh, just in time. We both settled in for the night. On days 75 to 78, Willy and I reached the snowy fortress deep in the taiga. This must be where the claws are. We entered the fort, but as we walked through, I couldn't help but notice the place seemed empty. There might have been a battle here long ago, but there was definitely no one here now. As we entered another section, the doors closed behind us. Oh no, it must be a trap. Get ready, Willy. That's when I realized it wasn't an enemy who set the trap. It was Willy.
I'm sorry, Zozo, but I can't resist my natural instincts. I tried, but cats are just too delicious.
What are you saying? Come on, we're friends.
I have a lot of respect for you. I didn't know a cat could be this strong. But I have to do this. And once you're gone, I'm going to lead the pack to all the other cats in the base.
Willy, get a hold of yourself. This isn't the right way.
I'm sorry, Zozo, but it's the end.
And just like that, we began to fight. Willy had gotten really strong, and his blows really hurt. I couldn't believe his instincts were this powerful. Please, Willy, it doesn't have to be like this. But it was too late. He was done talking, and I could see his wolf instincts had completely taken over. He kept swinging at me and managed to take another one of my lives. Ugh, only 2 left. I hurried and climbed up some trees, making my way to the top of the ruins. From there, I started firing arrows, landing some blows. Willy ran around, trying to avoid my arrows. It was making him really mad. I wasn't going to be able to finish it this way, though. I had to land a blow up close. I hurried and climbed higher into the ruins, firing arrows as I went.
Get back down here!
I climbed out the side of the ruins as Willy continued to look up where I was before. I snuck up behind him and delivered a sneak attack. It was just a few hits more, and he was finally defeated. Willy, why? I'm sorry it had to come to this. I ran outside and picked a flower. I carried it back inside and laid it where Willy had disappeared. I'll see you in the next life, my friend. On days 79 to 84, I was feeling really sad about the loss of Willy. I couldn't help but think though, Willy was super strong, and he was just a regular wolf. What chance did I have against the wolf monster? That's when I remembered Delilah the elephant could help. I traveled back to the savannah, and just in time too. Up ahead, I could see Delilah had been captured by poachers. You thugs, get away from my friend! I charged in as the poachers turned to fight. I had no time for these punks, and I had to save my friend. There was no way I was going to lose 2 friends in such a short amount of time. I was way stronger than the last time we had fought poachers, and so at long last, I took them all out.
Oh, Zozo, you showed up just in time. I don't know where I'd be without you. Or well, I guess I do. I'd be dead.
You mustn't talk like that, but I was hoping you could help me with something.
Oh, sure, anything.
I need to defeat the wolf monster still, but I'm wondering if there are any special items out there that could help me. Could you take a look? Delilah agreed and took a look into some nearby water.
Okay, I can see the nether. There's a huge fortress there. And inside, oh, there's some claws. They look like they're strong enough to rip through wolf skin.
So those claws are real. Do you know how I can get there?
It's showing me a path to the nether portal. It's actually not that far from your base.
Wow, that's great news. I'll have to go get them. But before I do, are you sure you still don't want to live at my base? There's so many poachers out here.
Oh, I've definitely changed my mind. I would love to live there.
Delilah and I headed back toward my base. As we got closer, she caught sight of my statue.
An elephant. I love it. It reminds me of my grandma. I miss her so much.
I wish I could have met her. I'm almost finished with that statue too. Just one more part to go, but I think you'll think it's pretty cool. From there, I got right to work building Delilah her own room at the base. The poor girl kept getting attacked, so I was glad she decided to come and live at the base with us. Her room was going to be at the top, so she was definitely going to be safe. Soon, her room was complete. Here you go. I really hope you like it here. Delilah assured me she would, and she especially loved the view out of her window. On days 85 to 89, I headed straight for the nether portal. I had to get those claws. Oh no, it looks totally destroyed. Hopefully there's some more obsidian in this chest. I opened the chest and luckily, there was everything I needed. Someone must have been here before. Just then, a snapping turtle came walking right over the chest and attacked. Ah, you're so slow and creepy. He wasn't very strong and I took him out quickly. Then another animal attacked me out of nowhere. This guy wasn't strong either and I took him out too. Alright, enough. Let's do this. I quickly fixed up the portal, replacing all the missing obsidian blocks. I stepped into the portal and was teleported to the nether. I stepped out into a soul sand valley and could see a few endermen roaming around. As long as I don't look at them, I should be good. But as I got closer, they turned and started to attack me. I guess they just really wanted me to stay away. Once I had taken them out, I took a look at my surroundings. That's when I noticed some ancient debris in the wall. Oh yeah, I can make some netherite gear with this. I mined out the debris and stored it away for later. It was time to explore. I took off into the nether, traveling across dangerous terrain and fighting off endermen. I found some more ancient debris too. There were also some ghasts that showed up, but I was able to take care of them with my bow. Soon, I saw it in the distance, the fortress from Delilah's vision. There it is! I just need to get across this lava, and the claws will be mine. I started jumping across the broken path, being sure not to fall into the lava. As I entered the fortress, I was suddenly attacked by a hellhound and a couple wither skeletons. I should have known something would be waiting for me. I tried to climb up some platforms as quickly as I could and started taking them out with my bow. The wither skeletons were getting too close for comfort, but luckily I was able to take them down. Now it's your turn. I jumped down and started swinging my sword, showing the hellhound who was boss. Even the dogs in a different dimension are mean. I kept swinging my sword and finally took the hellhound out. That was a tough fight. He destroyed most of my armor. But the important thing was that I had won. I went over to the chest and took a look inside. There was tons of loot, and most important, the claws were inside. I can't believe it, I got them! I took out the claws and equipped them. That's when I felt the energy surge through me, and I grew into a huge, super buff cat. Whoa, I'm extremely ripped, and I have way more hearts. It was time to take the fight to the wolf. On days 90 to 94, I returned to the base to see all of my new friends. It was quite the sight to see everyone so happy. We had all been affected by the wolf monster in one way or another, and it was great to see that despite it all, we had all found a place to call home. I was too big to fit in the door now, so I knocked out a space and grabbed some supplies out of a chest. Then I made myself a fancy new moving door. Ah yes, this will work perfectly. Now that I had a functioning door, I took the ancient debris I had collected and smelted it into some netherite scraps. Then I took some of the diamonds I had collected and made an entire set of diamond armor. Now I'll need a smithing table. I got the smithing table put together and then combined the netherite scraps with some gold bars to make some netherite ingots. Using the new ingots, I was able to then convert all my diamond gear into netherite. Now let's finish the statue. I headed outside and finished putting all of the details on the elephant. I thought it looked really nice and I was glad that it reminded Delilah of her grandma. Well, what do you think? Is this your favorite build I've done so far, or did you like another one more? With the statue complete, it was time to say goodbye. I met with all of my friends outside. Thanks for all of your support, guys. I'm going to go fight the wolf, but I'm still not sure how I'm going to beat him.
I was thinking about it, and didn't you say that crazy cat lady threw a potion at you that knocked you out? Maybe she had other potions that could come in handy for your fight.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'll have to go stop by there and see what I can find.
Good luck, Zozo. I know you'll make us all proud.
The rest of the animals chimed in. I never could have done it without all of their support. Time to get that wolf. On days 95 to 97, I arrived back at the cat lady's house. Alright, let's see what's going on in here. I ran up to the house to get inside. As I tried to take a look around, I realized I was too big for the doors, so I knocked out the walls to make myself some space. Something tells me she's not gonna mind. As I checked around the house, I eventually opened up her bedside table and found a bunch of blindness potions. No wonder she always had these on her. The lady literally slept next to them, but these will help in a fight. With the potions in my pockets, I headed off toward the wolf monster's base. I soon reached a snowy area and could hear the howling of wolves in the distance. But this time, I wasn't running. This time, I was heading straight for them.
Hey, you boys, check out this cat. He thinks he's real tough walking into our land like this.
Your pride will be the end of you. I'm gonna take down your entire pack.
Oh, cry me a hairball, fuzzbag. Bring it on.
We lunged at each other and started swinging. These guys thought I was weak because I was a cat, but they quickly found out I was super strong. I could tell they were scared, and soon, only one of them was left.
You're no cat, you're a freak. Just wait until the boss hears about this.
The last wolf ran off to tell his boss. Yeah, not even a warning is going to save him from me. The wolf wasn't very smart though. He was leading me right to their base. Soon enough, I saw a large fortress in the distance. This must be it. I walked up and started to explore. I could feel something behind me. I turned around and saw there was a huge sub behind me. Quick, subscribe to the channel. We must win this fight. On day 98, I charged into the base and was immediately attacked by some wolves. Out of the way, you mangy mutts! I swung my massive arms and knocked the wolves out. With my strength, these guys were a breeze. Soon, the room had been cleared. That's when I noticed something horrible. Is that what I think it is? On the stairs, there was a mounted animal head. These guys were a bunch of sickos. They had to be stopped. In the next room, there were even more wolves. Get a load of this, chumps! I smacked the wolves as they crumpled beneath my blows. They were able to get some hits in, but they were no match. No one was going to stop me from reaching my goal. Once they were all destroyed, I noticed what was on the table. More animal heads. I won't let them add any more. As I left the room, I noticed a button on a nearby wall. I hit it and a wall opened, revealing a storage room. Oh, nice. I bet there's something good in here. I started opening up chests and found a lot of gold, including some golden apples. Then I saw something out of the ordinary. There's warnings on this chest. Must be something good in here. I opened the chest and saw it had several potions of leaping. That would surely give me an advantage in the fight. Now I just had to find the monster. On day 99, I wandered through the halls and eventually walked into the Great Hall. The wolf monster was seated on a golden throne.
Oh, what is this? A cat walking right into my house? Who do you think you are?
You know who I am. You destroyed my entire group of friends.
Yeah, you'll have to be more specific. I do it all the time. It's literally all I do.
I'm Zozo.
Oh, Zozo. Yeah, I still don't know who you are.
It doesn't matter. Today is the day I take my revenge.
Yeah, get this cat out of my sight.
Suddenly, the wolves around the table charged. He might not know who I am, but he was about to find out. I knocked out his wolves in no time.
I always knew I was surrounded by a bunch of weaklings. I'll do this myself.
The wolf monster charged at me. The fight had begun. This was ending today. He was still strong and was really knocking me down. I ran away to try to get some space, eating some food to heal.
Get over here, you little cat.
I tried fighting him as I went, getting hits in here and there. I soon made it up a set of stairs, turning in time to start firing down arrows at the wolf monster.
Oh, knock it off!
I kept firing arrows until he had reached me. He kept hitting me, and eventually I saw my life counter appear again. I only had one life left. I had to make it count. I kept running through the castle, trying to play it safe. Every now and then he would catch up, and I would swing my claws to knock him back. Some of his wolves even tried to jump into the fight, but I was able to knock them away. My health was starting to get really low though. Alright, let's see what he thinks of this. I took out one of my blinding potions and managed to hit him.
Oh, I can't see. What did you do?
The wolf ran off as I hurried and ducked for cover. I was safe for a moment, so I hurried and ate a golden apple. I had been getting hits in, but it didn't seem to be enough. It was time to try something new. I could hear the wolf in the hallway up ahead, so I snuck up behind him and smacked him. Surprise!
Oh, you sneaky little cat.
We exchanged some more blows, and I ran off, making more space. I was really starting to hurt him now. Just then, we ran into a room with a couple of his wolf cronies.
Get this guy off my back!
I thought wolves didn't run away from anything. As I went back out to fight, I saw the wolf had disappeared. Where did he go? I kept searching around the place until I ran into a strange sign. Place sacrificial heads. Oh, I don't love that, but maybe it could help me. I ran around the palace and gathered up a few of the animal heads. Then I placed them on the altar. Suddenly, a hidden door opened, and the wolf monster was hiding on the other side. There he is! I ran up to face him. Give it up, man, you can't beat me! The wolf shook his head. He wasn't gonna go down easily. We charged as his sidekicks attacked. It was an epic battle, but they were no match for me. I even tried using the leaping potions, which helped me to get to higher ground and use my bow. This is for everyone you've hurt! I swung my claws, hitting him again and again. He wasn't even sorry for what he had done. At long last, I swung my claws, destroying him for good. Goodbye! The wolf was finally gone. Now we could all live our lives in peace. On day 100, I made it back to the base. All of my friends were there to greet me, and I couldn't believe the fight was done. We were finally free from danger. The world was once again a place of peace. On day 1, I spawned in as a cute and not so ugly little duckling. I'm so tiny, I've only got 2 hearts. I guess that checks out. I'm not strong, I'm just a square of fluff. At least I can fly. Nope, I can't fly yet, but I can swim. And check out my duck family. I've got a mama duck and a bunch of duckling siblings. They were all swimming in a pond. Hey guys, wait up for me. Wow, this sure is peaceful, just paddling along. My siblings and I had a great time splashing around together and following Mother Duck around. We didn't even run into any trouble. As the sun set that night, we made a little shelter and all huddled together to go to sleep. Maybe this will be an easy 100 days of survival. Hey, a duck can dream. On day 2, we were all awoken by the sound of loud barking. I looked around and saw we were surrounded by some mean-looking dogs. Our little duck shelter was super weak. The dogs got right in and started attacking us. Oh no! I would have to be brave. Feel the wrath of my mighty beak. I tried to fight back, but I instantly realized that a little duck stands no chance against big mean dogs. We would have to make a run for it. My duck family and I fled away, waddling as fast as our little webbed feet could take us. But it was no use. The dogs ended up surrounding us again. I have to do something. Whoa! Next thing I knew, I was tumbling fast down a steep hill. Ouch! Oof! You could definitely say I was on a roll. I fell with a splash into some water at the end of the hill. I was nowhere near my family anymore. They were all still far above me. My family was being kidnapped. I did what I could to find my way back in time to save them, but by the time I arrived, everyone was gone. This is not good. What'll I do without them? I made my way back to where I first saw my family. I wish I was playing with the other ducklings right now. I don't want to be all alone. If I wanted to survive long enough to find out what happened to them, I'd have to find some place to hide. I noticed a little hole along the edge of the pond and ducked into it. No pun intended. I waited out the night there and decided to track down my duck family in the morning. On day 3, I woke up without any issues from the other predators. I hopped out of the hole in hopes of seeing that my family had returned. But to my great disappointment, there were no signs of other ducks around. With nothing else to do, I went around and started collecting and mining materials to build a better shelter. I didn't want to be out in the open if the dogs returned. I'll have to be smarter than the average bird brain when I build this shelter. I need to keep the big, bad dogs out. Eventually, I had a good amount of supplies and started crafting my craft table, wood tools, and then began the beginnings of my little house by the shore of the pond. Location, location, location. This house had a great view. It was the perfect spot for a duck like me. On days 4 to 5, I still needed lots more materials for my base. I had to waddle off a little farther away from the pond to get more materials. Suddenly, I saw a peacock in the distance. I came closer and asked the peacock if I could get some wood. I explained my situation to him. The bird gasped.
My family was kidnapped by a group of dogs, too.
No way! What are the chances of that happening? Do you know where our families were taken? The bird wasn't sure, but explained that they were being kept somewhere so their feathers could be harvested over and over. That's awful, ruining lives just for some measly feathers. We heard a rustling and out jumped an ocelot. The peacock was instantly spooked and ran away. I wish I could get away. But that wasn't an option for me. I would have to be tough. I was only a tiny duck, but I wanted to find my family. I couldn't let this cat ruin my chances to do that. I was able to dodge a lot of the attacks the cat threw at me. Then, without too much trouble, I defeated that rascally cat. You were a bad putty-tat. Once the cat was gone, I could feel myself changing. I was leveling up. I wasn't a little duckling anymore. I was a little bit bigger duckling. I had extra hearts, and let's test out these wings. I can fly a little bit. I'm a flying, talking ducky now. I could only fly a short distance, but it would give me some much-needed advantages. This was neat. On days 6 to 8, I returned back to my base and started crafting some stone tools. As I worked, I started hearing something outside. I carefully went and looked around. I was hoping to see my duck family, but instead I saw one of those awful dogs sniffing around my house. I wasn't going to let him get away with his evil deeds. He would be sorry for stealing my family. Hey, you, dog, who are you, and what have you done with my family? The dog refused to give any information. Instead, it lurched at me. The dog probably thought that this would be an easy fight, but this time I had my stone tools. I was ready to take him down, and that's just what I did. Once the dog was gone, I saw that it dropped a note. I picked it up and read it. The note was an order for the dog to find the duck that got away, and to bring me back to the farm located in the Badlands. Aha! I will quack this case soon enough! Now I knew they were somewhere in the Badlands. Having that dog come after me proved to be a very helpful thing after all. On days 9 to 10, I did not want to waste any time. I traveled towards the Badlands. Having my new ability to briefly fly came in handy. Whenever I'd come across ravines or other obstacles, I could flap my way right across them. Up, up, and away! By and by, I made it to the Badlands with no harm done. I spotted the farm, but it didn't look so much like a farm. It looked more like a prison. There were so many sad animals fenced in and caged up. So many birds in cages. That's so mean. Birds need to be free to flap and fly. They shouldn't be cooped up. I noticed all the depressed animals, but I didn't notice the big wolf guard staring me down until I was close to her. I assumed she would yell at me, but instead, she lowered her voice.
You shouldn't be here. I would run far away from here if I were you.
Wait, you're not going to try and capture me?
Not if I don't have to. I'm not exactly happy with what is happening here. I'd leave myself, but things are complicated.
Who is in charge here?
I shouldn't be telling you any of this, but if you must know, he is a powerful monster. A big, big, big dog. Fearsome and powerful. No one dares go against him, or you'll be destroyed.
Just then, another guard came out of nowhere and attacked me. You need to go to obedience school. Didn't anyone tell you not to bite? I tried to fight back, but the guard was too strong. There's only one way out of this. I would have to run. I didn't like the idea of running away from my family, but I knew if I wanted to help them, I'd have to live to fight another day. I took my chance, flapping my wings. I dashed away from the farm. On days 11 to 12, I ran away. I decided to take a rest in a tree. My wings and legs were getting so tired. I was new to this flying thing. I was getting ready to rest my eyes when I heard hooting. At first, I wasn't sure where the voice was coming from, but then I noticed an old owl on a branch.
Who are you, young duck?
Oh, I didn't see you there. Pardon me. I'm Zozo. What's your name?
I am Waymar the Wise. Who are you running away from?
I'm running from these dogs that are rounding up a lot of birds and other animals. They are throwing them in cages. They took my whole family. You should be very careful. You don't want to end up in a cage.
I know of who you speak. For this happened when I was a young owl, not much bigger than yourself. Animals were being taken from their homes and forced to do the bidding of their captors. We fought together and eventually defeated our foe. I'm much too old to fight again, but I can see the world is in need of a hero. Perhaps that hero is you, Zozo.
Who? Me? I don't know about that. I wasn't so sure that I could save the day. I couldn't even defeat one of the guards, but I knew I would do whatever I could to help my family escape. I bid the old owl goodbye and thanked him for his wisdom. I headed back to my base. I needed to regroup and figure out a plan. On days 13 to 15, I woke and realized what time it was. Upgrade time! I wasn't strong enough yet to go up against these dogs in the Badlands, but I could make my base more secure. After all, they could be sending more dogs out to grab me at any minute. So I started improving my little lakeside home. Man, I can't believe Big Dog is capturing all these animals. It's so messed up. If I didn't figure out something quick, more animals would be in trouble. I finished my upgrades and really wished my duck family could see the home I was building for them. I think they would get a quack out of it. Thinking of them made me get an idea. I could totally have them with me, just in a different way. A statue way. You know what time it is, right? Statue making time. I began building and thought about how the ducks taught me a lot. Life should be spent with the ones you love, and being free as a bird. I liked the way it was coming along. The statue family would keep me company until I rescued my real family. I was really getting into building the statue when I heard a bird chirping excitedly. It was the peacock that had run away from the wild ocelot.
Well, bless my soul, it's you. Good to see you're still alive after that run-in with the cat.
Yeah, me too. My name is Zozo, by the way.
I'm Taffy. I noticed your nice lake house. Did you build that all on your own?
Yep, now I'm working on a statue of my duck family that got taken away.
It's hard living on your own, isn't it? I miss my family too.
Say, you could live here with me if you want. We can keep each other safe. I am working on a plan to rescue our families. Taffy thought that sounded great.
As long as I won't be too much of a burden.
I went inside and I made sure that she had everything a bird could need. On days 16 to 19, I decided it was past time I got around to making some iron weapons. I wandered around the area, and after a bit of flying around, I spotted something interesting. It was a mine shaft. Bingo! I entered the mine and followed the maze tracks to some iron. Of course, it wasn't a walk in the park down in the mines. It was a walk in the dark. I met some zombies and skeletons down there that were interested in ending my life. Back off, I've got a sword and I know how to use it. I started swinging my sword at them and had a couple close calls, but I knocked them out pretty quickly. It was good to see I was learning how to hold my own. Still, I didn't care to run into any more creatures, so after I had enough iron, I booked it out of the mine as fast as I could. Back at the house, I readied my supplies and got to work, crafting my stronger weapons and armor with my crafting table. These will give me the edge I need to go up against those tough guards. On days 20 to 22, it was time to release the Quacken. I told Taffy to keep a bird's eye on the base while I returned back to the Badlands. This time, I would be ready. Those guards won't see me coming. Because this time, I wasn't going through the door, I was flying overhead. I know what you're thinking, I wasn't the most accomplished flyer, but I could fly better than those dogs could. It was worth a try. As I approached the walls of the farm, I took a running start and launched into the air. I'm like a flying ninja.
Yay, there's a duck flying over our walls into the farm. Now that's what you call a bird brain.
Well, I guess I wasn't as stealthy as I hoped I was. I landed near the guards.
Wait a second, it's that troublesome duck that keeps getting away from us. Get him!
I jumped into the air, dodging attacks. Toucan, play at this game, on guard. I got out my weapons and started handing out damage. I couldn't lie, it was a bit daunting. They would get a hit or a bite, but with my armor protecting me, they were toast after a few hits. What a rough day for you dogs, getting your tails handed to you by a little duck like me. Finally, I had finished the guards off. I didn't waste any time searching for my family. I started running all around the ground, searching for my family. I wanted to save all the other animals I saw, and I promised myself I would help them. But first, I had to locate my family. But they weren't in any of the cages or fences. Where are they?
What is all this squawking and hollering?
A chill ran down my spine. A giant creature stomped loudly out of the foreboding base. It was enormous. A big dog. I was terrified.
Guards, why are you letting some pipsqueak cause such a ruckus, eh? Looks like somebody ought to teach this quacker a lesson.
Big dog let out a psst, psst, psst. Out came a tiger. He charged at me. I tried to fly away, but it was no use. This big cat could jump high. I used my weapons, and his attacks broke my armor quickly. I was exposed, and I was losing hearts fast.
Hi-ya!
A big wolf came bounding into the fight. It was the nice guard. She told the tiger to back off.
Let's get out of here.
We ran for it. Who knew how many more guards would come running after us? Or worse, big dog. Shockingly, the tiger didn't chase after us. After a while, we felt safe enough to stop running. You saved my life.
I couldn't stand by any longer, and you're really brave. You might have what it takes to take down the farm.
I failed to save my family for a second time. I think it's pretty obvious I can't do that. The wolf assured me that she believed in me. It was nice, but I still felt awful that I hadn't saved them yet. Where are you going to go now?
Honestly, I didn't think that far ahead. I just couldn't let you become catnip.
I have a base I'm building with another bird friend. Why don't you come live there until you figure things out?
I'd be very grateful to stay with you both.
I led the way back to the lake house. By the way, I'm Zozo. What do I call you?
Awoo is the name.
Seems fitting. On days 23 to 26, we got back to the base. Taffy greeted us, and I introduced Awu to Taffy. I'll need to do some upgrades and add a room for you, Awu. It shouldn't take too long. I made sure to make the room nice and spacious for Awu. It was the best room in the house. I noticed I hadn't added to my statue in a while, so I got to work on that too. You know, I think I'll add my friends to this piece. I'd like to honor all my good friends and family. Just then, Awu came trotting up.
Wow, this is looking great. Everyone watching should subscribe so that they can see all the other cool stuff you'll make.
What do you mean everyone who's watching? It's just us here.
They know who they are.
On days 27 to 31, I went out exploring to find new resources. I was pecking around when I heard someone who sounded very upset. I followed the voice and came upon a raccoon. Hello, is everyone okay?
No, everything is not okay. I've been kicked out of my house by a big old monster. He thinks he can just push me out of my home because he's mean and can destroy me super fast. Huh, nobody ain't got no respect these days.
I tried to calm the raccoon down and asked him to show me to his house. He walked away and showed me to his home. I approached the door and sure enough, there was a monster cooped up inside. The monster growled and told me to get lost before I became its next meal. Listen, this isn't your home. You really shouldn't take things that aren't—
Are you still talking? Be gone or be eaten. Silly food talking back to a predator such as I. If I weren't so cozy in here and already eaten 3 meals today, why, I'd gobble you up in one bite. Scram, pests.
It was clear this rude guy wasn't going to listen to anything I had to say. I'd have to teach this guy some manners, and I had an idea. On days 32 to 35, I started digging near the raccoon's house. What we had here was a reverse Three Little Pigs situation. In this scenario, the big bad wolf is inside the house and I need to blow the house down. And to do that, I started to dig a tunnel deep down under the house until I found some lava pools. This was one pool I did not want to get my feathers wet in. Now that I knew where the lava was, I headed back out of the tunnel. The next part of my plan was to find some creepers. As I came out of the hole, I quickly found some. I'm just here for your gunpowder. Don't mind me. Now that I had gunpowder, I just needed one more thing: sand. I headed to the riverbed and gathered a bunch up. With the gunpowder and sand, I crafted some TNT. I think you might know where I'm going with this. I returned to the tunnel that I dug under the raccoon's house and ran down to the lava pools. I carefully set the TNT next to the lava and began setting a fuse up and out of the tunnel. Match, set, light. Everything was going according to plan. On days 36 to 39, I waddled up to the front door and called out to the monster. The door opened to reveal the grouchy foe. Hello again. I thought I'd let you know that you have a limited time offer to leave this house before I huff and puff and blow this house down.
And how do you suppose to do such a thing?
Easy. I have a brick of TNT nearby and a fuse that's ready for me to light.
TNT?
It's dynamite, and I'll win this fight. I would slither on out of here if I were you. This house isn't worth your life.
You talk too much, Duck. I yield to no one. Be gone!
Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you. I activated the fuse and down the signal went into the tunnel. I took cover. There was a giant explosion and the floor of the house gave way, sending the monster to his fiery grave. Yes, my plan worked. The raccoon was nearby and watched the whole thing.
Was your plan to destroy my entire house?
The raccoon was not exactly happy, despite the fact that the monster was gone. I felt bad. Maybe I had been a little intense with my plan.
Now how am I going to afford to rebuild my house?
Put it on my bill. That was a joke. I don't actually have any money, but what I do have is a really big lake house that would totally fit you. I have other friends staying there too. Why don't you come stay there with us? The raccoon grumbled but agreed. He was still a little sore about his house being blown to smithereens. I showed him the way to the lake house and we made our way there. On days 40 to 43, we arrived back to the lake house. The raccoon sure was a grouchy fellow, but something about him was endearing too, like an angry little elf. They're just adorable when they get mad. You can't help but smile when they yell at you. I showed the raccoon around and created him a raccoon-tastic space for his home. I went over to my statue creations. We had my duck family and Taffy. I loved how it was looking. It was only right to build a statue of the raccoon too. I started building the raccoon statue. Looking at all these family and friends in the statues made me think about another creature that had been so nice to me, Waymar the wise owl. I didn't want anything to happen to him. Maybe I'll go visit him and see if he would like to stay at the house. We are safer in numbers. I don't want him getting captured. On days 44 to 49, I returned to the tree where the owl lived. I found him sitting under the tree, but he didn't look so good. Mr. Waymar, are you okay?
Zozo, my dear boy. I was worried you might have been one of the henchmen. I'm fine. I'm just feeling a little under the weather. It's hard to get food and such these days. I can't fly, you see. I'm kind of stuck in this tree.
That was not good. I couldn't stand by and let Waymar suffer. I told Waymar that I wanted him to come live at the house with us and we would help take care of him. He was so grateful but didn't know how he would get there. I'll figure out something. I'll find a way to carry you there. I immediately thought of the mine carts in the mines. Oh, those would work great. I just needed a way to push it along. I headed back to the mine and started collecting the tracks for the cart. I would make a track from the owl's tree to the base. That should be enough. I took everything back to the owl and laid some tracks down and rebuilt the cart. Climb aboard. Once he was in, I pushed Waymar along in the cart, picking up the tracks as I went along and setting them ahead until I made it all the way back to the lake house. I was excited to build him a room in the house. My little misfit family was growing so much. Waymar was super grateful for the help. He couldn't believe he had us to care for him now. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
I'm an owl.
On days 50 to 53, I decided to go deeper in the mine to find some diamonds. I hadn't seen diamonds yet, but I was certain I'd run into some if I went a little farther in. As I went deeper, I ran into a big stinky toad. I smell something most foul, and it's not me. Aha! Care for a slice of my sword? I swung my sword while the toad tried hitting me with his tongue. He was no match for me though, and I quickly took him out. I went a little farther and ran into some tarantulas too. Ooh, these guys creep me out. I made quick work of them, swinging my sword as hard as I could. They too were soon gone. That's when at long last, I had found the diamonds. I mined them up as quickly as I could and then headed back home to make them into things. I made a strong pair of armor and some super strong weapons. As they say, diamond weapons hurt forever. I definitely felt I had a better chance of kicking bad guy booty with these upgrades. I just needed to figure out where my family was being held. As I was crafting, one of my friends told me Waymar needed to see me, so I went to his room. Hey, Waymar the Wise, you wanted to see me?
Oh, Zozo, I have loved being here. I feel so much happier. I hate to seem ungrateful for asking you anything, so you know what? Never mind. It was silly anyways.
No, please, I want to help. I'm happy to do anything. Anything at all.
Well, okay, if you insist. I have the most overwhelming craving for a tropical fish. I loved eating it when I was younger. My siblings and I would devour them when we were in the nest together. Oh, how I miss those days.
Sure, that's no trouble at all. I'll go right away. Waymar was so excited to hear I would help him. I started on my quest immediately. On days 54 to 57, I finally reached the water. There was a perfect spot for catching tropical fish. Now, if I was a gorilla or hogland, I might have trouble getting this fish, but I was a duck, so I was in luck. I paddled out into the water and dove after the fish. Okay, this is a little trickier than I thought. I spotted a school of fish and started swinging my sword. Eventually, I got one. I kept swinging until I had gotten a few more. Well, now to simply swim back to the shore with no problem. Ah! Somebody bit my tail feathers. It was a shark. I was under attack. Actually, I was more over attack as the shark was below me. Oh, you like picking on smaller fish, do ya?
Wait a second, don't you eat smaller fish too?
Well, yeah, but that one was supposed to be mine. Now scram! I fought the shark. It was tough, but eventually I won thanks to my upgrades. Oh, check me out, I'm growing. I'm a much bigger duck now. I had leveled up, finally. Hey, maybe I can fly now. I thought a happy thought, took off running, and started flapping my wings. I zoomed into the air. This was amazing. I can fly, I can fly, I can fly! On days 58 to 62, I arrived back in the base with the fish. As I climbed into the base, I saw that Waymar was even worse off. Oh no, Waymar, you don't look so good. Here, I brought you your favorite fish. This should help.
Thank you, Zozo. I don't have the energy to eat it just yet. Let me just put it here. I remember when Mother would return home with the fish back in 1932, just as you just did. She liked them lightly pan-fried and put a dollop of cranberry sauce on the side.
Waymar? Waymar? Waymar suddenly passed away with a smile on his face. I wondered if I had gotten him the fish sooner, if I would have saved him. But I was also glad he took his final breath, knowing he was cared for and not alone. He was going to be very missed. On days 63 to 66, I was moping around the base. I felt so sad, and that was okay. I just needed to let out my feelings and be upset. I went over to the statues and had a good sob while I added another one to the bunch. I wanted to honor Waymar's memory by adding him to the group. The statue made me feel better, and I could smile again. There was my wise friend Waymar staring back at me. This place was becoming a whole museum full of statues. It was beautiful. On day 67 to 70, Awu came up to tell me that they had found something.
It's a note from Waymar. You're going to want to read this.
I took the note and read it. Zozo, check out the old fort east of here. Your family might be there. And remember, things aren't always what they seem. Just because you can't hear or see something doesn't mean it isn't working. Believe in yourself and your plans. What was that supposed to mean? It was a nice sentiment, but I feel like it was some kind of coded message. I'd try to remember that. Well, Awu, looks like I need to follow these clues. Can you help keep watch over the lake house while I'm gone? Awu was up for the task. In the morning, I would take my leave. On day 71 to 74, I went in search of the hidden prison in the tundra. As I traveled across the snowy forest, I spied a fort hiding in the mountains. Is that it? I saw that the fort was active and that there were guards that looked just like the ones from the farm. They were carrying large shipments of feathers out of the fort. This place must be a prison where the other ducks and birds are being held captive. They are harvesting their feathers. My blood boiled. I didn't waste another moment. I drew my diamond weapons, and with my diamond armor, I charged in. I started swinging my sword with all my mighty duck strength. Those guards didn't stand a chance. I couldn't believe how easily I blew through them all. Feel the wrath of my revenge. I made my way into the prison, cutting down anyone who stood in my way. I was feeling like I could take on anything at this point. On day 75 to 78, I reached a room that looked important. I barged in, unafraid, and saw the tiger that had almost destroyed me back at the farm. I felt a tinge of fear creep back into me. Did I have what it took to go up against him? Regardless, what choice did I have now? My family could be in this very room. I shook off my fear and went head-to-head with the cat. Or clawed a sword, rather. This tiger was still tough. I got lots of good hits in, but he was so strong. It wasn't doing that much damage. He was good at blocking, too. He even scratched me a few times. And I saw tons of birds in cages. Maybe my family wasn't here. As we fought, I noticed a big lever. It looked important. I took a chance and hit it hard. All of a sudden, the cage door swung open. The birds were free. The tiger was in shock at his sudden misfortune. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Some of the birds started to attack him. While he was distracted by all of the birds flying out of their cages, I was able to attack his weak spot. He was done for. The tiger was no more. I looked around the room and saw my baby duck siblings. They were so excited to see me and couldn't believe how much I had grown. I was so relieved to see them. And where's Mama Duck? The ducks look sad.
Mama got taken by the big bad dog to his mansion. The other birds say that it's on some sort of volcano.
That seems like a bad place to build a mansion. This dog isn't as smart as I thought. Don't worry, little ducklings. I will rescue Mama. On day 79 to 84, I spent some time searching the room where I had originally found the tiger. You never know what kind of information you can find, and this tiger was clearly a leader of this operation. He had all sorts of confidential information laying around, and if nothing else, I could take his valuables. He didn't have any use for them now that he was toast. I looked all around and found a treasure chest. Bingo! I opened it up and found a map. I looked closer. Well, what'll you know? A map right to the volcano mansion. And what else do we have here? I saw that there was a whistle in there too. I blew it, but nothing happened. Why he kept a broken whistle, I'll never know, but I'll just keep it, just in case. With the room fully inspected, I went back to the ducklings. Alright, you guys, let's get the quack out of here. I built you a home that's super secure. Let's go. I saw some of the birds that had helped in the fight against the tiger. They looked unsure of where to go and what to do. I invited them back to the lake house with us. They were very grateful and agreed to come with us. We waddled as fast as we could back to the base. On days 85 to 89, I returned safely home with all my ducklings in a row. I immediately started expanding the house and made more rooms for all of the birds. They loved their new living quarters. Sure beats a small cage. Awu and Taffy had something exciting to show me while I was away.
We built something very enchanting.
They had found items to make an enchanting table and had what we needed to enchant my armor. Wow, thank you! This is incredible! If I wanted to rescue Mama Duck, I needed to be as ready as possible for going up against Big Dog. This would give me a fighting chance. On days 90 to 94, I walked over to my field of statues. They were almost all done. I just needed to finish building the rest of Waymar's statue. I was so excited to reveal all of my statues to my friends. As I looked at Waymar's statue, I thought about the strange note he had given me.
Just because you can't hear or see something doesn't mean it isn't working.
You know, that gives me an idea about something. I put the finishing touches on the statues and was finally finished. A field of all my favorite friends. What a sight! On days 95 to 97, I knew it was time to go rescue my mom. I followed the map to the mansion on the volcano. This place was spooky. I could see the appeal of building a mansion on the volcano now. That is, if you're an evil villain, it's perfect for that vibe. I had to admit, I felt a bit scared, and that was okay. That didn't mean I was going to run away. No, I was saving my mother, come dogs or lava. I brandished my weapons and started fighting my way through the guard dogs along the path to the door. On day 98, I was exploring the mansion when I went into a room with a strange-looking bunny man inside of it. What the? Who are you? Who am I? Who are you? Oh wait, I'm you! You're me! Yeah, you're me from my bunny video! Oh yeah, that was an awesome adventure! When everyone is done watching this video, they should go check that one out. Amazing! Well, I've got a family to save. See ya! On day 99, I made it into Big Dog's lair inside of the spooky mansion. After defeating tons of guards, I felt something funny happening. I was leveling up. This is just what I needed. I needed to be a mighty duck to defeat a massive dog. I'm as strong as I can get now. I was super buff. I was going to give Big Dog some trouble with my new strength. He's going to have to answer to this firecracker. It was time for the ultimate smackdown. I looked around the room and saw Mother Duck in a cage. Mom!
Zozo, what are you doing here?
I'd like to ask you the same question, troublesome quacker. Looks like you haven't learned your lesson. And you've been hitting the gym, I see. Like that's gonna help you.
I'm here to take my mother home.
Can't you see me and your mom are madly in love with each other? Trying to split us up, are you?
I'm not in love with you, you freak!
You will be if I keep you locked up long enough. It's called Stockholm Syndrome, love. Look it up. Works in the fairy tales all the time.
Dude, you've got some serious issues. This is no way to treat someone you like or love. That's no way to treat anyone. What a weirdo. This dog needed to be put out of his misery. I drew my weapon and attacked Big Dog. I gave him everything I had. Every bit of strength I could muster went into every hit. But he was still too strong. I was barely making a dent. Compared to him, I was like a yappy chihuahua. My blows were just not dealing enough damage. Maybe he was right. Maybe I couldn't defeat him. Had I come all this way just to fail? Then I remembered the broken whistle in the chest.
Just because you can't hear or see something doesn't mean it isn't working.
I pulled out the whistle and blew it. Nothing. But that's how it was supposed to work. It was a dog whistle. Only dogs can hear it. Big Dog stopped attacking and sat politely. Good boy. Now play dead. Big Dog's armor came flying off of him.
Go look!
Big Dog was completely hairless. Big Dog explained that he wanted all the feathers to cover his naked self. There is nothing wrong with being hairless, and I'm sure many of us would have donated feathers to you, but you chose to ruin people's lives over this. I have had enough with your silly excuses. You aren't going to cage up anyone ever again. With that, I gladiator kicked him out of his window and down into the river of lava. On day 100, I let my mom out of the cage and we went back to the lake house. The ducklings were so excited to see their mother. We all had a wonderful reunion. I introduced everyone to my new family. Everyone couldn't stop raving about all the crazy adventures we'd had and how great the lake house was. We were going to live happily ever after. No more living in cages, just freedom and family. On day 1, I spawned in as a Lego man. Looks like I'm a baby Lego man. Figures. Wait, it looks like the whole Minecraft world is made out of Lego. That's amazing. I looked around the desert I'd spawned into and saw other Lego people walking around. All villagers, by the looks of it. I've never seen anything like this. What's going on here?
Allow me to explain, Lego Zozo.
I turned and saw a more sinister Lego man with a scary-looking helmet and a business suit. He didn't look friendly.
I'm Lord Business, soon to be the new manager of this Lego world. I'm gonna keep things clean, orderly, and most importantly, profitable.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, to make profits, you need to cut costs. And I'm gonna cut costs by destroying all those who oppose me. Starting here!
He swung his hammer, and suddenly the desert was filled with explosions, tearing into the ground and blowing up all the Lego villagers around me. Just like that, I was all alone. I'm not gonna let you get away with this, Lord Business. I will defeat you. Lord Business just laughed and stomped over towards me.
I've got a tight business plan, Zozo. I'll have control of this entire world in 100 days. And unless you become a master builder, you'd have no hope of stopping me. And it's not like that's gonna happen.
I wanted to fight back and defend myself, but I was just a baby and I didn't have any weapons. That's when a swarm of soul vultures appeared and started chasing me. All I could do was run. There's only one way out of this. I need to figure out what exactly a master builder is and become one in 100 days so I can defeat Lord Business and stop him from taking over the world. On day 2, after running for hours and hours, I ended up leaving the desert and entering the savannah. I may not have any weapons yet, but at least I'm tough. 5 Lego hearts? Even my health and hunger bar look like Lego pieces. And I'd need those Lego hearts because I still hadn't lost Lord Business's gang of nasty soul vultures. They were tough and fast, and I still didn't have any gear to fight them off with. Don't you guys have something better to do than hassle a baby Lego man? As the soul vultures got closer, I could feel my energy depleting. It was almost nightfall, and now I was really in trouble. Then, flaming arrows went flying through the sky. Someone was shooting at the soul vultures. The flames scared them, and the flock retreated. Someone had saved my life. That's when I saw a Lego villager hiding behind some cover. Thanks for saving my life, man.
No problem. Name's Bruce. I'm part of the resistance against Lord Business and his evil plans.
Wait, there's a resistance? Please let me in on it. I want to help defeat Lord Business too.
Then you better follow me. It's dangerous to be around here at nightfall.
Before we go, do you perhaps have any food? My Lego belly is starting to rumble.
No problem, little man. Here are some cooked mutton Lego bricks.
On day 3, Bruce and I went to a village in the middle of the savannah.
The village provides cover for the resistance. All the key members are hiding out here. None of us want Lord Business to turn this world into his personal piggy bank.
Bruce took me to a secret building in the middle of town where he wanted me to meet the resistance leader, an Egyptian illager named Osiris, sitting in a chair in his private library. Everyone was gathered around the table, so I sat behind it as well. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Osiris. I'm Zozo. Bruce told me you're the leader of the resistance against Lord Business.
This is true. Bruce told me you wish to join us.
That's also true. Lord Business attacked me when I first spawned, and he told me he's gonna take over the world in the next 100 days. I could only stop him if I became something called a Master Builder. Osiris seemed shocked. He stood up and came walking towards me.
A Master Builder? He said those exact words? Master Builder?
Yeah, but I have no idea what it means. Do you know anything about Master Builders, Osiris?
Legends tell of the Master Builders. They're Lego men who have mastered the sacred art of construction. Through training and special techniques, they can build anything. Some say they're so good at building, they don't even need to use weapons to fight. They can use building itself as a weapon.
I jumped with excitement. Oh my gosh, that sounds incredible! How can I become one?
It won't be easy, but it's possible. It will take training in the art of building, of course, but most importantly of all, you must be taught the secret techniques by the 4 Master Builders hidden across the world. And if we are to have any hope of stopping Lord Business, you'll need to do all of this in less than 100 days.
I waved goodbye and exited the secret building. On days 4 to 5, I began my first pieces of work and training. After all, I couldn't even think about seeking the other Master Builders until I'd completed some basic training. Tools! First, I gotta make myself some tools. So I went over to the nearby trees and started gathering up some wood. It wasn't easy to punch through the trees, but soon enough, I had enough wood to make a crafting bench, and then my first set of wooden tools. These look pretty cool, but a master builder needs better than wooden tools. Using my wooden shovel and pickaxe, I started digging into the ground until I hit stone and collected enough blocks to build myself a full set of stone gear, including tools and a sword. Because I was now an official part of the resistance, Osiris said I was allowed to build my base on the edge of the village, so I started using my spare wood and stone blocks to build the foundations of my base. The first step was building rooms for myself and Bruce, the Lego villager who had saved my life in the desert. It's always nice to have a friend living with you. Bruce hurried towards me, looking frantic.
Zozo, the building is gonna have to wait. I can see a bunch of zombies creeping towards us out of the savannah. We need to stop them.
Luckily, I had my new stone sword, so I pulled it out and ran in, ready to kick some moldy zombie booty. You're messing with a future master builder here. You're gonna regret this. And they did, because it didn't take me long to defeat the zombies and return to my base, glowing with victory. That's when I started to change. I upgraded, getting bigger and gaining 2 hearts. 7 hearts? This is awesome! On days 6 through 8, I was wandering through the savannah until I reached a forest. I was collecting more wood for my base when I saw a wooden villager being attacked by this big and ugly-looking bug called a sectoid. But the wooden villager was fighting back, building walls between him and the attacking sectoid. I've never seen anyone fight like this before. Maybe That's when the wooden villager noticed me.
Are you gonna stand there all day, son? Or are you gonna give me a hand with this thing?
Oh, right, sorry. I ran in with my stone sword and joined the fight. The sectoid was tough, but with me and the wooden villager working together, we had a chance. Every time the sectoid tried to attack me, the wooden villager quickly built a little wall between us. Soon enough, the sectoid was exhausted and confused, and I was able to defeat it with my stone sword. He dropped some string. I guess it makes sense. He did look a bit like a spider. All that was left was me and the wooden villager. I wanted to know more about his special fighting skills.
Thanks for the assist, kid. Who are you?
I'm Zozo, and who are you?
I'm Master Red.
Wait, Master? As in Master Builder? Can you help me learn to be like you?
Sure thing, kid. Your training starts now. You're gonna help me chase a soul eater out of a cave near here.
Sounds like a plan, Master. Let's go. On days 9 to 10, Master Ren and I made our way through the forest until we found the cave he told me about. Before we go in, Master Ren, what's the first lesson? How can I fight like a master builder?
The first technique is the one you saw me using in the woods, kid. When your opponent tries to attack you, you build a wall between you and them.
Okay, I think I'm ready. Let's do this. I followed Master Ren into the cave, where the Soul Eater was waiting. It was even bigger and scarier than I thought it'd be, and the second it saw us, it flew towards us.
Now is the time, Zozo. Try out the technique I taught you.
But with the Soul Eater charging towards me, I panicked. I couldn't help it. I tried to build the wall between us as quickly as I could, but the Soul Eater just flew over the tiny barricade and started attacking me. In one strike, I lost a bunch of hearts. Uh-oh, I need to get out of here. I ran out of the cave and Master Ren followed me. Felt so embarrassed to lose in front of him like that, but he didn't seem to mind.
Perhaps I will need to train you more cautiously, young Zozo.
How about you come stay at my base? You can train me more there.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
On days 11 to 12, I returned back to my base with Master Ren and started adding another floor to the base. This way, he can have his own room. I hope this is to your liking, Master Ren.
Well, it's clear you have much to learn in the way of building. But thank you, Zozo. It'll do.
While Master Ren was resting up, I decided to put my building skills to good use. I created a custom crafting room where I could perfect my crafting skills and store my creations. By the time I was done, I saw that Osiris had arrived at my base, and he had something to tell me.
How's the training going, Zozo?
It's, going. What's up?
I figured it was finally time for me to tell you about what's really going on and why Lord Business is doing everything he's doing. You see, creativity is a wonderful thing, and it's a skill that all master builders are required to develop. But the purest kind of creativity is the kind used to make people happy. The darkest kind is the one that Lord Business has fallen prey to. Creativity to satisfy greed. All he cares about is money,
And everything that people create, he seeks to own. And he's willing to destroy anyone who gets in the way of his bottom line.
After hearing this story, I went out into the forest and gathered more sticks and wooden blocks. I made a little fenced-up area in the backyard of my base and herded some cows into it, as well as making a small wheat farm alongside it. If I'm gonna become a master builder, I need to be able to build everything. On days 13 to 15, I approached Ren, who was practicing in an archery range I had built for him on the other side of the base. Hey Ren, I was wondering, do you know other ways I can improve my building abilities?
Well, I suppose there is this handy tool I usually use. It's called a builder's wand, and it lets you build much faster by extending connected block faces.
What? You didn't think to mention this before in the cave?
Well, I have been known to be a bit forgetful here and there. Here, have one.
Ren tossed out the wand for me. Thanks. Well, hopefully you can remember anything about master builders since, you are one of them. Osiris said something about there being 4 master builders out there, and I've only found you.
Perhaps your best bet is searching the snowy tundra. I've heard tales of mysterious buildings popping up there. It could be the work of a master builder.
Then I guess the snowy tundra is exactly where I'm heading.
Word of advice, Zozo. Build yourself a bow first. You never know when it'll come in handy for you.
Before setting off for the snowy tundra, I tested out the builder's wand, and sure enough, it makes building walls much easier. This tool is really useful. I also followed Ren's advice and made myself a bow, just in case. All I needed were some feathers, and luckily there were a few chickens around, so I could craft the arrows as well. Better to have a bow and not need it, right? I made my way across the map to the snowy tundra. Part of me hoped I'd find the next master builder waiting for me, but it turned out that the snowy tundra was huge. It'd take me forever to find someone here. But it didn't take long for a mutant snow golem to find me and start attacking. You must work for Lord Business. Jeez, is there anyone outside the village who doesn't work for that guy? I tried my best to use Master Ren's technique, building walls in front of the attacking snow golem, but he was still too fast for me, even with the builder's wand. In the end, I kept my distance and finished him off with the bow. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be good enough to be a master builder at this rate. But the mutant snow golem did drop something, a builder's potion, which helps the speed of my mining and building. Just what the doctor ordered. I returned to my base and took the potion, practicing by digging a huge hole near my base and collecting a bunch of stone blocks. It was a good exercise because soon enough, I leveled up and gained 2 more hearts. 9 hearts? This is rad! On days 16 to 19, I continued exploring, hoping I might find another master builder hiding inside some ancient ruins. This place is so old and spooky, it seems just like the kind of place an old master would hang out. But I was half right. I didn't find a master builder here, but I did find an ancient sign that might lead me to one. It read, "He who seeks to reach the peak of skill must climb to the peak itself. A master dwells where the air is thin." Thin air. Peaks? That sounds like a mountain. I know where I need to go now. But I couldn't celebrate too quickly. A group of Barakoa ancient people sent by Lord Business had cornered me. I needed to think fast. What would a master builder do? That's when I had an idea. Using all the stone I'd mined in the days before, I quickly ran around the group of Barakoa, building a wall around them that boxed them all in. It was quite tricky because they were surprisingly fast for their short stature. Eventually, I did succeed in boxing them in though. Before any of them had a chance to escape, I fled the ancient ruins, safe to fight another day. Master Ren is gonna be so proud of me. On days 20 through 22, I was making my way through the forest, gathering up materials to prepare for my journey into the mountains. These mountains are treacherous. I should really upgrade my gear before I go. While I was in the forest, some spiders attacked me. I was low on stone at the time, so I decided to defeat them with my stone sword instead of doing it the Master Builder way. Variety is the spice of life. Once the spiders were dealt with, I mined until I stumbled into a small cave system. I found some iron deposits. It took a while to mine all of it, but in no time I had enough to smelt and craft into a set of iron armor and tools. It made me feel so cool and powerful. Maybe it's time for me to pay my old enemy a visit. With my new tools and my new power, I went back to the cave where I'd almost been defeated by the Soul Eater. But this time, it was going to happen the other way around. Come get me, Soul Eater. I'll give you something to chew on. I decided to go for a mix of standard and master builder tactics. As the Soul Eater flew towards me, I used my skill to quickly build a wall around the Soul Eater, trapping him in place. But there was no time to waste. I pulled out my new iron sword and one-shotted the Soul Eater right in the head. How do you like me now, you cave-dwelling meanie?
Having fun, Zozo?
I turned and saw Lord Business standing at the cave entrance and staring at me. Lord Business, what are you doing here?
Watching your pathetic attempt to become a master builder. You really think you can make a difference? You're not special, Zozo. And believe me, when my factories are complete, we'll never need people like you to make anything ever again.
And with that, he disappeared. Factories? That doesn't sound good. On days 23 to 26, I returned to my base, eager to tell Master Ren that I'd used my new skills to take down the Soul Eater.
This is an amazing development, Zozo. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, Master Ren. I couldn't have done it without your help.
I have a reward for you, a special schematic for a new tool I've built. I think you'll find it quite useful.
Master Ren gave me a book full of instructions, and I went into the crafting room to begin building. By the time I was done, I had a multi-tool. One tool that can be a pickaxe, a shovel, an axe, a sword, and a hoe, all in one. This is a perfect tool for a master builder. I then used my new iron multi-tool to clear the mess we did outside the base. I also used it to gather some more food. I then took some time to build a wall around my base. Now nobody with bad intentions could get in. On days 27 to 31, I decided to finally follow the instructions I saw in the ancient ruins. As I arrived at the ruins, I saw the Barracoa were gone, so I made my way up into the mountains. It was dark, cold, and difficult to climb, but it was worth it if it'd make me be a better builder. I couldn't see any mobs, thankfully, but I was so high up that if I fell, I probably would have been done for anyway. Then, without warning, an Iceman landed on the ground next to me.
Who goes there?
What? Where did you come from?
That doesn't matter. Why are you invading my domain, stranger?
I'm Zozo, and I swear I didn't mean to intrude. I just came here to look for a master builder.
Then you found him. I'm Master Frost, the master builder of the mountains.
That's when I saw how Master Frost had gotten the jump on me. He'd immediately built a staircase behind me and used it to attack me from above. He really was a master builder. Want to come back to my base, Master Frost? I'd love to learn from you. I can even make you your own room.
Sure, why not? It's been a while since I've taught a young whippersnapper in the tricks.
While we made our way back to my base, we came across a rainbow tree. Frost built some stairs so I could reach the top, and I mined some unique material with my multi-tool. Super colorful rainbow grass blocks. I returned to my base afterwards and built a new room for Master Frost, even giving him a window made from rainbow glass blocks. It was almost done when Bruce approached me in a panic.
Zozo! Lord Business has sent some minions to attack the village. We need your help immediately.
On days 32 to 35, I rushed into the village with Bruce, ready to defend it from whatever attack Lord Business had unleashed on us. But I wasn't expecting to see a gang of ender creepers crawling all over the village. The whole village was completely overrun by creepers. They were chasing innocent villagers all around the village. Oh no! Looks like Lord Business really took his evil up a notch. Knowing it was dangerous to take on the ender creepers up close, Bruce and I pulled out our bows and started shooting the ender creepers, trying to take them out before they exploded. We had to be extra careful, but with the help of Bruce, we managed to get a lot of them. A few unfortunately slipped through the net, with awful consequences. Bruce suddenly looked towards Osiris's secret base.
Zozo, look! They're cornering Osiris!
Bruce was right. Osiris was being cornered by an ender creeper, slowly creeping towards him. We heard him beg for mercy.
No, please don't do this.
Before we could get close enough to save the Resistance beloved leader, we heard it, a Lego boom! The ender creeper exploded, setting off a chain reaction that blew up a bunch of the other houses. The whole village was in ruins. We rushed to check out Osiris's secret base, but all we saw was smoke rolling out. He was gone! Osiris, no! There was so much left unsaid between us!
Come on, Zozo, we can mourn later. We need to stop these heavy creepers before they can do any more damage.
It didn't take us long to defeat the rest of the ender creepers, but with Osiris gone, our morale had taken a serious hit. On days 36 to 39, I decided I needed to search further if I wanted to find the third and fourth Master Builder. That's why I traveled all the way to the Ice Spikes, a scary and desolate land even further away than the snowy tundra. Master Builder! Is there a Master Builder anywhere? I soon came across a Viking villager named Olaf. He was camping in one of the Ice Spikes, eating a Lego apple. He looked exhausted. You okay there, buddy?
Oh yes, just taking a breather.
You wouldn't happen to be a Master Builder, would you?
No, afraid not. I'm just a Viking. But I can tell you where to find a Master Builder if you help me deal with a little problem I'm having.
That sounds awesome. What do you need?
There's a bad snowman around here I've been trying to destroy, but I'm having an off day. If you can take care of him for me, I'll give you the information you need.
Deal. I wandered around the Ice Spikes until I found the bad snowman that Olaf had warned me about. Thankfully, I still had plenty of energy, so I pulled out my multi-tool sword and took him by surprise. Don't mess with this, Lego man. That's no joke. He even left a few carrots and snowballs in his chest. Maybe the Viking will want to play a snowball fight with me. I returned to the Viking and told him the good news. The bad snowman had been defeated.
Finally! I thought I'd never get to leave this stinking place.
Yeah, the snowman even left a few snowballs behind. Wanna play a snowball fight?
No thanks. I'm too old and tired for such games.
Oh, okay. So how about the Master Builder? Where can I find the next one?
I heard there's one of them hiding out in the swamp, but he likes his privacy. No offense, but you should probably get better before you go see him. If you're not experienced enough, he'll think you're just wasting his time.
On days 40 through 43, I returned to the base. Walking through the rubble the creepers left behind reminded me of the loss of our great Osiris leader. This is no time for sadness. I'm ready to practice and improve my building skills, so one day I can have my vengeance. I added some new furniture to the base, along with some bookcases that helped me study the craft of master building. Master Ren approached me midway through my renovations with a new request.
Zozo, my student, Lord Business's latest creeper attack on the village has destroyed many homes and left many Lego villagers homeless. You should do them a kindness and make room in your base for them to live in the meantime.
Master Ren made a good point. I invited in the homeless Lego villagers and started building another level to my base, complete with beds for them all to sleep in. Just as I finished, Master Frost came to me with an urgent message.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Zozo, but I've received some vital information. Some of my allies have followed up on the lead for one of Lord Business's factories. I need you to investigate and find out what's going on. It's also the perfect time for you to test out my attack from above technique.
Of course, Master Frost, I won't let you down. On days 44 to 49, I followed Master Frost's instructions until I reached the factory. It was a spooky looking building, so harsh and out of place in this fun Lego world. I need to stop this madness as soon as possible before it ruins the whole world. I crept inside, trying to stay hidden. But while I may have gotten really good at building, I was kind of terrible at creeping because Lord Business noticed me immediately.
This is private property, Zozo. Did none of your masters ever teach you not to trespass? It's rude.
It's also rude to be an evil overlord. What's your endgame, Lord Business? What's the big plan here?
Well, since you'll never leave this place alive, I guess I can tell you. You see this factory? I'm going to cover the whole world in thousands like it and fill it with builders like you. You'll all either work for me or be destroyed, endlessly building products that I can sell for a massive profit. All for me!
You'll never get away with this! I won't let you!
You don't have a choice. Remember the golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. Speaking of which, meet a friend of mine, the Gold Warrior.
A gold warrior stepped out from the darkness, ready to fight.
Get rid of him. I'm a little too busy to stick around and watch.
Lord Business disappeared again, and the gold warrior charged at me. On days 50 through 53, I tried to use my skills to fend off the Gold Warrior. He was the strongest enemy I'd ever faced, and he wasn't giving up easy. No matter how fast I tried to run away from him, he caught up to me. Can't we just talk this out, Mr. Gold Warrior? He didn't seem to think so. Instead, he kept trying to jab me with his lethal spiky club. I kept building walls between us, but every time, he'd effortlessly get around them. I was in real trouble. I tried taking him down with a bow, but he used his shield to stop the arrows. I got one shot in, but that was about it. This is not effective. I need to change tactics. I pulled out my multi-tool and activated the sword. I couldn't stop him with my master builder techniques or my bow, so I was going to have to fight him directly instead. It was a tough battle, and I lost quite a few hearts along the way. I even got down to half a heart. Luckily, I was able to build my way to safety and eat to regain my health. Phew, this is getting intense. But alright, here goes round 2. After a lot of fighting, I was finally able to defeat him. When he went down, he dropped his gold shield and a golden key. Oh, I wonder what this unlocks. I better keep it in my inventory. You never know when you need a key. On days 54 to 57, I left Lord Business's spooky factory and made my way outside onto the plains. But something was already out there waiting for me. A powerful Earth Elemental, ready to battle! The Earth Elemental started walking towards me, but out here in the open, I could use my Master Building skills. I quickly started using the Master Frost technique, building stairs so I could run up them and attack from above. It's over! I have the high ground! I leaped down onto the Earth Elemental and destroyed him in one direct strike to the head. He dropped a powerful Protection 3 enchantment book too. This will make me a lot more resistant to damage when I apply it to my armor. But I should probably wait until I get better armor and apply it then. With my mission complete, I returned to my base to tell Master Frost. I found him sitting on a bench by the lake as he made ice around him freeze up. I told him about Lord Business's evil plan and about my mastery of his technique.
Excellent work, Zozo, despite the frightening news. Go see Bruce in a few days. He'll have something valuable for you to do then.
Will do. Just make sure that all the fish don't freeze. On days 58 to 62, I decided that my base needed a little tender love and care, so I decided to expand the farm to also include chickens. Anyone else want a fried egg? But my base was only one half of my defenses. I needed to get myself better armor and tools too. That's why I used my multi-tool to dig into a mine behind my base, going deeper and deeper until I finally found some diamonds. Even though they look like Lego pieces, diamonds are still a master builder's best friend. I took the diamonds back into my crafting room and built myself a full set of diamond gear, weapons, tools, and armor. Then I crafted myself an anvil and applied the Protection 3 book to my diamond chestplate. Now I finally have some proper protection. Wait, what is this? I don't have a full armor bar. I guess Lego diamonds aren't quite as tough as real diamonds. After all that hard work, I built and added a new floor with a lounge and a small terrace to my base, so I could finally put my feet up and relax. I just knew it wouldn't last for long. On days 63 to 66, I approached Bruce the Lego villager and asked him what he had for me.
I've been closely observing your progress, Zozo, and I believe you finally have what it takes to meet the next master builder. I've marked out the swamp where he lives on your map. Seek him out and learn his teachings.
Thank you, Bruce. Wish me luck. Over the next couple days, I made the long journey to the swamp. It was a dark and humid place with a strong, musty smell. I really didn't want to spend too long here. Even less so when I saw a huge Polypham running towards me, ready to fight.
Get out of my swamp, intruder!
The Polypham was twice the size of me. I'd never stand a chance against him in a fight. I tried to run away, but he was way ahead of me. The Polypham mined into the ground and rapidly tunneled below me before popping back up out of the ground right in front of me. Please, I don't want any trouble. I'm just looking for the Master Builder. The Polypham immediately stopped.
Oh, why didn't you say so? Nice to meet you. I'm Master Tony, the Master Builder of the Swamp.
Master Tony, I'm so pleased to see you. I was told you didn't like visitors.
Normally I don't, but today I need a hand. I've got a monstrous swamp leech infestation. If you help me with that, I'll teach you a thing or two.
On days 67 to 70, I followed Master Tony deeper into the swamp to help him take on his monstrous swamp leech problem.
Being a master builder, I'm pretty strong, but leeches have always squicked me out, so I appreciate your help on this.
It didn't take us long to find the leech infestation. I didn't want to get too close either. They looked pretty freaky, so I pulled out my bow and picked them all off at a distance, one arrow at a time. Leeches, be gone! Whoa, I should have been a pest controller.
Great job, Zozo. I'm glad I don't need to look at those nasty things anymore.
Happy to help. Now, how about that technique? Master Tony was a man of his word. He showed me how he'd mastered the combat tunneling technique. how you could use your pickaxe to dig into the ground to escape, or create pits for enemies to fall into. This is awesome! I only need to learn from one more master, and I'll be a master builder myself! On days 71 through 74, while searching the plains, I found an entrance leading to some kind of bunker. What could have been inside? And if you like crazy mysteries and wild adventures, you should search for more Zozo videos by typing ZO into your search bar. I prepared my diamond sword and climbed down through the door. It looked like some kind of secret bunker underneath, filled with bookshelves and books all marked factory plans. Wait, this place must be owned by Lord Business!
Clever observation, Zozo!
Lord Business suddenly came out of the secret bookshelf entrance and swung at me with his netherite sword. I barely dodged in time.
I made a mistake, sending my minions to destroy you before. I should just get it over with and destroy you myself.
I tried to fight back, swinging my sword at him, but every time he blocked my strike and fought back, knocking off a few of my hearts.
You're no master builder, Zozo. You're weak and pathetic.
As Lord Business tried to finish me off, all I could do was escape. In a frantic panic, I built a wall between him and myself and made my way out of the bunker while he broke through it. I wasn't strong enough to beat him. All I could do was run, but at least I escaped. This time anyway. On days 75 through 78, I continued making improvements on my base. It was one of the tallest and most impressive bases I've ever made, so I decided to build downwards too. That's why I made a cozy basement to hold extra supplies. I even installed a few beds just in case. Just as I was finishing up, Master Frost approached me with a gift.
Zozo, I just wanted to tell you, I'm so proud of all the work you're doing. Nobody is fighting back against Lord Business as hard as you. I wanted to give you a gift as a token of my thanks. It's a potion of strength I brewed for you.
Wow, thanks, Master Frost. I can't wait to try it. I drank the potion and felt myself getting bigger and stronger by the second. By the time the transformation was done, I was a full-grown Lego man with 12 hearts. Let's see Lord Business try to take me on now. On days 79 through 84, I decided to travel for a bit to flex my new strength and master builder abilities by taking on some bad guys in the forest. Lucky for me, a gang of bad guys weren't hard to find, as when things got dark, the woods soon became filled with angry skeletons. You guys have got to go down, no bones about it. They didn't appreciate my bad pun. Instead, they attacked me. I decided to put all my master builder skills to use in stopping them. First, I used Master Frost's technique. I quickly made a stairway and climbed to the top to get away from them. Can't get me up here. Then, I used Master Tony's special technique. I leaped down onto the ground from above and started digging until I formed a big square hole in the ground. It didn't take long for the skeletons to follow me and fall in as I climbed back out. Then I capped it off with Master Ren's technique and built a roof over the pit where all the skeletons were trapped, sealing them away forever. Wow, I'm almost a master builder.
It's true, and I like your style, Zozo.
I turned and saw that an Egyptian jackal had been standing there and watching me the whole time. He seemed impressed.
I'm Master Joey, the final master builder. I hear you've been looking for me.
You heard correctly, Master Joey. Can you teach me your special technique so I can finally become a true master builder?
I won't give you a technique, Zozo, but I will give you a tool. The hammer. When you need it to destroy blocks in a hurry, you just can't beat it. Congratulations, you're a master builder now!
On days 85 through 89, I came back to my base with new tools and new knowledge, only to find that we were under attack from a horde of spider creepers. They were crawling all across the village and exploding, destroying chunks of the buildings. I was terrified they would go for my base and the people inside. I can't let you do this. One of the spiders came crawling towards me. Fortunately, Bruce came out of one of the buildings with his bow, helping me fight back.
Don't worry, Zozo. You won't need to fight alone. I've got your back.
So we fought together, taking on and taking out most of the spider creepers until the rest ran out into the savannah. I've got to go get them. I can't let them get away this time. But as I tried to chase the fleeing group, I saw a baby Lego villager being chased by a spider creeper. I needed to save him. Don't worry, baby, I'll save you. I pulled out my diamond sword, charged in, and defeated the spider creeper.
Thank you, Zozo. You saved my life.
On days 90 to 94, after saving the Lego villager baby, I ran into the forest to chase the fleeing gang of spider creepers. You creeps are gonna pay for what you did to the village! I chased them until I saw that they were trying to hide in a nearby cave, but it was too late. I already saw them. I ran in, ready to fight with my diamond sword, until I noticed that I'd been lured into a trap. There was an ender creeper waiting for me, and he was wearing a name tag. It read, Vice President to Lord Business. Uh-oh, I guess you're not gonna be easy to fight then, are you? The ender creeper, VP, didn't even reply. He just came running at me, and I began to panic. Better use my Master Builder skills. I couldn't make a staircase in the cave, but I could still use Master Ren's technique and make a wall. I quickly built one up between us, but VP teleported right through it and hit me, knocking off a few hearts. Looks like this is gonna be my hardest battle yet. On days 95 through 97, the battle raged on. VP truly was the toughest enemy I'd ever fought, and often when I tried to hit him, he teleported out of the way. Why won't you stay still and fight fair, VP? You're the VP of being a lousy cheater. Being an ender creeper, he also had the ability to teleport lit TNT right on top of my head. Oh man, I've got to be careful and dodge his falling TNT. That's when I figured out the perfect method of stopping him. I used Master Tony's technique and created a hole, tricking the ender creeper into falling into it. After that, all it took was one strike from above to destroy the ender creeper. He even dropped a banana waba brick, one of the strongest unbreakable pickaxes in the world. So of course, I grabbed it. In that moment, I had a vision, revealing the truth about Lord Business. Once, he also wanted to be a master builder, and he sought out the secrets to learn the knowledge and the techniques. But in the end, it was never meant to be. He was too greedy and impatient to truly learn. So instead, he decided he'd make others do the work for him and just take all the money. If Lord Business never even fully gained his master builder skills, maybe I really will be able to finally defeat him. On day 98, I prepared for the final battle, mining to gather extra blocks that I could use in the fight. Before I could leave, each of my friends came to offer words of encouragement. First, Bruce, the Lego villager.
You're one of the strongest fighters the Resistance has ever had, Zozo. I just want you to know, no matter how this ends, it's been an honor serving with you.
Then came Master Ren.
You have learned the ways of the Master Builder, Zozo. Remember them and use them wisely. And even Lord Business won't be able to defeat you.
And finally, Master Frost.
Be creative, Zozo. That's the most important thing. And it's something you're brilliant at. Lord Business will never be able to take that away from you.
Hearing all of this made me finally feel ready to take on the evil mastermind behind it all. On day 99, I made my way to Lord Business's business base, where I was sure to find him. On the way there, I saw a Lego kid playing in the savannah.
I believe in you, Zozo! You're my hero!
Thanks, kid. I'm gonna try my best. But when I arrived outside the business base, I noticed that it was heavily guarded by a gang of soul vultures. Oh no, how can I fight all of these, then take on Lord Business? I'll be outmatched. That's when Master Tony the Polypham suddenly appeared.
Don't you worry, buddy. I'll take care of the soul vultures. You get in there and take that businessman down.
Thank you, Master Tony. I couldn't do this without you. Master Tony ran in and started fighting the soul vultures. And while he was distracted, I ran right past him and used the key, dropped by the gold warrior, to enter the business base. I knew that key would come in handy. On day 100, with my tools gathered and my master builder status secured, I entered the inner sanctum of Lord Business's business base. The place was huge, with tall walls and a massive fountain in the middle. I proceeded forward through a treasure room filled with gold piles. He was waiting for me on the other side of the room, sitting in his giant golden throne, laughing evilly.
So you're finally here, Zozo, but I'm afraid you're already too late.
It's never too late.
Ha! That's what you think! My forces are ready to roll out, and they follow only my command. This whole world will be turned into one giant corporation, and I will be the CEO. Only a master builder could stop me now.
That's the thing, Lord Business. I am a master builder. I pulled out my hammer and prepared to battle the evil businessman for the sake of the world. He jumped off his chair, wielding a netherite sword, and tried to attack me. I quickly built a wall between us, and anytime he knocked the wall down, I built another.
Aren't you even going to fight back, Zozo? This is pathetic.
I am fighting! I'm fighting like a master builder! I blocked myself into the treasure room while Lord Business was breaking down my wall. I quickly started building a staircase. As he broke through, I leapt down onto him and hit him.
No, no fair!
You'd know these techniques if you ever bothered to learn them, Lord Business.
And you'd know this technique if you had money! Ender creepers, attack!
Lord Business pulled a dirty trick. Doors around the room opened and heavy creepers started piling in. He was going to blow me sky high.
Face it, Zozo, you're outnumbered and outgunned. I've won!
Not yet, you haven't. It was time to put all my training to good use for one last move. While the heavy creepers chased me, I mined a huge hole into the ground with my hammer. I pushed Lord Business into the hole. I looked at the creepers and they followed me as I jumped into the hole.
Zozo, what are you doing?
Finishing this! As Lord Business and the heavy creepers scrambled around, trying to grab me, I placed down the ladders and climbed out of the hole.
Zozo, you fool! Let me out of this pit! The heavy creepers will explode! It'll destroy us both!
Not quite, Lord Business. Boom! They all exploded, destroying Lord Business with them as I ran from the room. It was finally over. I'd become a master builder and saved the whole world. On day 1, I spawned into a beautiful cherry blossom forest as a creeper. Oh, wait, why does my stomach hurt? I guess I must be a hungry creeper, and a baby hungry creeper at that. Lucky for me, there seem to be lots of apples laying around the forest. That must be why there are so many capuchin monkeys hanging around. Would you guys mind sharing some of your apples with a hungry creeper like me? I'd really appreciate it. That's when I saw a big, scary Skeleking striding towards me out of the trees, and he looked like he really meant business.
Not so fast, kid. These apples don't belong to these goofy little monkeys. They belong to me, Skeleking of the Overworld.
Oh, well, can I please have some apples, Your Highness? My name's Zozo, and I'm so hungry.
Sure, if you can pay up some emeralds, nothing in this world is for free, kid.
I don't have any emeralds.
Then we have nothing to say to each other. I'm sick of all you freeloaders thinking you can enjoy my food for nothing. Within 100 days, I'll make sure that nobody can get a single morsel without paying through the nose for it.
I'll never let you get away with that. It's not fair on all the hungry people who don't have emeralds.
Well, I guess I'll just have to destroy you then. Sorry, kid. Gotta make an example out of people sometimes.
The Skeleking unleashed an energy blast. I ran away as fast as I could, but it was already too late for the monkeys and the apples. The blast took them all out. The blast also took me down to 2 hearts. I ran as fast as I could. I needed to defeat the Skeleking within 100 days, or everyone would go hungry. On day 2, I reached the Sika Woods and stopped for a minute to catch my breath. I could still feel my stomach growling. I wish I'd been able to eat at least one of those apples. But while I was still catching my breath, I got ambushed by some armored skeletons, and something told me that they probably wouldn't have any food for me.
Hey, it's that freeloader the Skeleking told us about, boys. We'll teach him to try scrumping our Supreme Ruler's produce. Attack!
The armored skeletons ran towards me, and all I could do was run away. It's not like I had a weapon, and even if I did, I probably would have been too hungry to fight. Eventually, I managed to lose them. Being in this world was already exhausting. And if I don't find a snack soon, I think I'm gonna pass out. That's when a cassowary approached me. From how slowly she walked over, it seemed like she was nervous.
You're not with the Skeleking, are you?
Gosh, no! I was just running away from him and his minions. I'm Zozo. What's your name?
That's a relief. I'm Cassie the Cassowary. You look hungry. Come with me. I know someone who can fix you up some free grub.
Thank you! That's the best news I've heard all day! On day 3, Cassie the Cassowary took me to a cozy little cabin in the middle of Sika Woods. That's where I met the cabin's owner, a friendly straw golem named Stefan.
My word, you poor little creeper. You're all skin and bones. How about I give you some of this nice bread? It's fresh out of the oven.
Stefan gave me some tasty bread, and it helped fill up my hunger bar. A little bit anyway. Seems I really was a hungry creeper through and through. Thank you, Stefan. I really needed that. I'd don't understand why the Skeleking doesn't just let people eat when they're hungry. He'd make a lot more friends that way.
Ah, Zozo. But you see, the Skeleking doesn't care about friends. All he cares about are jewels and riches. As a skeleton, he doesn't even need food. He just hoards it for his own benefit.
That's awful. How can we stop him?
We can stop him by fighting back and making sure all the hungry are fed without having to give in to the Skeleking's evil demands. Making a base would be a good start.
Good idea. Thank you again, Stefan. We said our goodbyes to Stefan, and then Cassie and I set off deeper into the Sika woods. It was time to start building a base. From day 4 to day 5, we started the construction project. Of course, before we could do anything else, we needed tools. That's why I broke down a tree and made myself a wooden pickaxe, which is good for only one thing, mining enough stone to make myself a full set of stone gear, including a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. Finally, I can deal some damage and start building a cool base. I used my pickaxe to harvest more stone and used a stone axe to chop down some more trees, giving me more wood to build with and more space for the foundation of my base. Looks like I'm getting the hang of this. Using all the materials I gathered, I started building a pretty basic starter base with a room for me, a room for Cassie, and a common area to hang out together. When it was done, Cassie and I took a second to appreciate it together. It's not much, but it's a start.
I think it looks awesome, Zozo.
But as you can probably expect, all this building worked up a real hunger. I did some more exploring until I found myself some delicious carrots to eat. What's up, Doc? And as soon as I ate the carrots, something amazing happened. I leveled up, getting bigger, stronger, and getting 9 hearts. Looks like I power up by eating. That must be why I'm so hungry. From day 6 to day 8, I decided I needed a change of scenery and traveled out to the Mojave Desert to search for more food. Suddenly, some text appeared. It was my stomach. You have generated 1 gunpowder? Well, would you look at that? I now actually have 1 gunpowder in my inventory. I guess it makes sense. I am a creeper after all. I explored for a bit until I was surrounded with hot desert sand all around. Las Vegas should be around here somewhere, and I've heard they have amazing all-you-can-eat buffets. I'm sure my stomach would like that. But I never found Las Vegas or any buffets. Instead, I found a little goblin named Goblo running towards me in a panic.
Stranger, you have to help me. I'm being chased by a desert mummy.
Oh no, don't worry, Goblo. Zozo's the name, and helping people is my game. Stand back! I charged in, leaving Goblo behind, while I searched for the desert mummy. It didn't take long for me to find him. He was running around the desert, trying to find Goblo. Instead, he found me. Let's battle, mummy. You should at least be picking on someone my size. The desert mummy attacked. He was one tough cookie, but thankfully, with my stone sword, I was able to get the edge. He dropped a cookie. Well, don't mind if I do. When the desert mummy was defeated, I returned to Goblo.
Thank you, Zozo. You're a lifesaver.
No problem, Goblo. Why was that desert mummy chasing you in the first place?
Because I owed his boss, the skeleton jackal, some money. When he finds out you defeated the desert mummy, he'll probably just send another.
Then we better go have a chat with this skeleton jackal personally. And I'm gonna need to break for lunch. From day 9 to day 10, I followed Goblo into the Red Rock Mountains, where he told me the skeleton jackal was waiting. You hang back, Goblo. I'll take care of this guy myself, then come back.
Okay, Zozo. Here, take this slingshot. Maybe you can fling some stuff at the skeleton jackal. I wish you luck.
I kept going until I found the skeleton jackal waiting for me. If you're not gonna forgive Goblo's debt, then I guess we're gonna have to fight. I loaded my slingshot with gunpowder and flinged it at him. To my disappointment, nothing happened. Oh well, I guess a good old stone sword will have to do. I charged in with my stone sword, expecting this to be an easy fight, like my battle with the desert mummy. But I was so wrong. It seemed like my attacks were barely doing any damage to the skeleton jackal. He was just too fast and strong. And to make things worse, he started throwing his javelins at me. Ouch, that hurts. I needed to get out of there. So I just turned and ran. I ran until the skeleton jackal was out of sight, then made my way back to Goblo, feeling hungry and ashamed. I'm so sorry, Goblo. I don't think I'm strong enough to take on the skeleton jackal yet. How about you come to my base to lay low? We'll figure something out.
That sounds like a good idea, Zozo. Thank you for helping me.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with Goblo. Seeing as only Cassie and I had bedrooms at the moment, I needed to expand my base. I started adding a whole new room for Goblo to sleep in, connected to the common area. After building the room, I furnished it with a bed so Goblo could finally relax. How do you like your new room, Goblo?
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you, Zozo. I feel safe from the skeleton jackal and his goons here.
Great! Hopefully it'll keep us safe from the Skeleking and his goons, too.
Oh no, the Skeleking. He's like 100 times worse than the skeleton jackal. I've heard his troops have been going to anywhere that can produce and store food and trying to take it all over.
But why?
Almost everyone needs food, Zozo. So whoever controls the food controls the world.
Then we better start producing and storing our own food, just to be safe. With that idea in mind, I started adding a new room to the base, just for storage. Once I'd built the room, I installed a few chests so we could store as much as possible. I also started mining around my base, finding some iron ore deposits that I could later smelt into ingots. But I was still hungry, and I couldn't just eat iron. So I started adding another new feature to my base, a little chicken farm, filled with some chickens I found around the Sika Woods. The chickens would lay eggs and give me a steady supply of ingredients for cooking projects. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to my base and decided to have a much-needed chat with Cassie the cassowary. Cassie, I need your advice. How do you think I should go about getting strong enough to take on the Skeleking?
Well, you told me that eating helps you grow and level up. Maybe you need to venture out further and try more exciting foods. The tropical rainforest might have what you're after.
That's an amazing idea, Cassie! I took her advice and traveled out to the tropical rainforest. The journey actually made me even hungrier, but lucky for me, I was able to find some sweet berries that reduced my hunger a little bit. But this was immediately followed by a sudden ambush from the Spider Queen.
Well, if it isn't Zozo, the hungry creeper. I expected you to be bigger.
I'm working on it.
It doesn't matter. The Skelly King sent me to eliminate you. And believe me, no matter how hungry you are, I'm hungrier. The Spider Queen will eat you alive.
Without another word, the Spider Queen attacked me. It was a tough battle, but lucky for me, I was able to hold my own and turn the tables on the evil Spider Queen. When she was defeated, she dropped some cotton candy onto the ground. That is sweet! Get it? Because it's candy? Sorry, that is a bad joke. I ate the cotton candy and immediately felt myself growing again, just like Cassie had told me. I was bigger, stronger, and now I had 14 hearts. From day 16 to day 19, needing a break from all the dense woods and forests, I decided to take a stroll through the beautiful rose fields. While exploring, I got hungry and decided to eat some bread from Stefan the straw golem that I'd kept in my inventory. When you're going on a long journey, you should always bring snacks, especially when you're a hungry creeper. A little less hungry now, I continued my search through the rose fields until I found a mysterious old chest just sitting around in the middle of the field. Oh, I wonder what's inside. I took a peek and found a book titled Mysteries of the Weeping Witch Forest. Most of the pages were blank, but one of them had the words, "A man who once walked the Weeping Witch Forest with evil thoughts, found his mind and body twisted, always desiring but never hungry, forever unsatisfied, a creature less than human." Wait, that sounds a lot like the Skeleking. Does this mean he has something to do with the Weeping Witch Forest? Before I could finish my thought, a bunch of armored skeletons turned up, looking for a fight.
Look, we found the freeloader again. Let's destroy him for good this time. Maybe the Skeleking will give us a raise.
The armored skeletons attacked me, but I wasn't a little baby hungry creeper anymore. With my new size, skills, and my stone sword, I was able to defeat every last one of them. Seems like all my hard work is paying off. Now I'm hungry again though, running out of food, fast. From day 20 to day 22, I continued through the rose fields. I found a few spiders along the way, but after defeating the Spider Queen, they were nothing. I think I've earned myself some upgraded equipment after all this. I continued mining into the ground until I found some more iron ore. I then built myself a little furnace out in the field to smelt the ore into ingots, then turned the ingots into a full set of iron gear. First and foremost, an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. I think I'm finally strong enough to settle an old score now. With Goblo's debts in mind and my hunger nagging at me again, I made my journey back to the Red Rock Mountains, where the skeleton jackal was once again waiting for me. Ready for a rematch, friendo? The skeleton jackal attacked, but this time I was a lot bigger, stronger, and faster than before, and I had way better weapons. It didn't take me long to defeat the monster, and in doing so, clear all of Goblo's debts. It feels good to help. Now if only it made me less hungry. While I was feeling sorry for myself, the Skele King himself suddenly appeared, walking right up to me. With him there, I certainly didn't feel as confident as I did before.
Been enjoying all the free snacks, you sad little mooch? You've been eating on borrowed time, Zozo. You owe me, and I always collect on what I'm owed.
I don't understand you, Skele King. I read that you were a person once, before you lost your humanity. Why do you want all this money if you don't even need to buy food with it?
To need is weak, and to want is powerful, Zozo. What you have is hunger. It's a sign of your low status. What I have is ambition. Perhaps someday you'll understand that, but I don't expect you to live that long. Mark my words, your days are numbered.
And with that, the Skele King disappeared, and I was alone in the Red Rock Mountains with a grumbling stomach once again. From day 23 to day 26, I tried to ignore my grumbling stomach as I returned to my base. I really wanted a snack, but first I had to give Goblo the good news. I found him chilling at the fireplace. Hey, Goblo, guess what?
What is it, Zozo?
I took care of that skeleton jackal, so he won't be sending his goons after you anymore.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for your help.
No problem. Now we don't have to worry about any more of those creeps coming after you. Next, I decided to gather materials that would help me improve my base. Also, I wanted to see if I could rustle up another snack. Some stone blocks. I can use these to build a stone wall around the base and keep the bad guys out. I gathered the stone, as well as some coal which I unearthed, and got to work building a wall around my base. That looks great! Super secure. But I want to make sure I can see what's going on out here while I'm inside. I know, I'll add some windows. After carrying all that stone, putting in a few windows was a snap. Phew, that really made me work up an appetite. I wandered out into the woods to see what I could find, and suddenly I spotted a tree filled with what I like to call yellow gold, bananas. This is the best day I've had so far. I picked up as many bananas as I could find and made sure to eat a few to help fill up my rumbling stomach. After that, I could think much more clearly. As much as I wanted to eat all the bananas, I realized I could use some of them to help upgrade one of my weapons. I know, I'll fuse these with my sword and make a banana sword. No, a banana katana. Hey, that's pretty good. Maybe once the Skele King is defeated, I'll get into comedy. It tastes delicious. I just gotta make sure I don't cut my tongue while eating my katana. From day 27 to day 31, I was getting restless hanging around the base. Having no more bananas to eat, it was time to head out and explore a new area to see what snacks I could find. My journey took me all the way out to the ice spikes. I wish I'd worn a coat, but I've got my sense of adventure to keep me warm. Plus, it was pretty hard to focus on being cold when I was so hungry. As I was walking, I came across some diamonds. Whoa, I can't believe these are out here. I'll grab them and take them home with me. Then, I saw something amongst the ice and the bushes and rushed toward it. Maybe it's something I can eat. But as I got closer, I realized it was just a mungus. Oh, sorry to bother you.
No bother at all. I was hoping someone would come along to help me. I took a stroll away from my home in the mushroom fields, and I'm afraid I'm hopelessly lost and getting colder by the second.
Well, you can warm up at my base if you want. Follow me there.
Oh, thank you. Please take these cookies as a token of my thanks.
Sweet.
Yes, exactly.
I showed the mungus the way back to my base, but we were both still shivering from the cold. We need a bigger fireplace. I quickly upgraded our existing one, and before long we were warming ourselves up by the fire and munching on cookies. This is the good life. Just then, Cassie the cassowary approached us.
Zozo, I need your help. It's Stefan. He's in trouble. We have to go now.
From day 32 to day 35, Cassie and I headed to Stefan's cabin in the Sika Woods to see what was going down. Cassie sounded pretty upset, so I knew it was probably pretty bad. When we arrived, I saw why Cassie was so freaked out. The place was swarming with armored skeletons.
Zozo, thank goodness you're here. These brutes have been tearing my cabin apart.
Don't worry, we'll stop them. I drew my banana katana. I've got my banana katana, so you guys better split. I didn't have time to laugh at my super funny joke. I had to get to work fighting these guys off.
There's so many of them. What do we do?
We do our best. One of the armored skeletons came at me, but I managed to get in a good hit with my weapon before he could get me. We were so caught up in the fight, we didn't notice the two skeletons that knocked Stefan to the ground. Oh no! I tried to help him, but it was too late. Stefan was gone. You'll pay for this! My anger gave me the strength I needed to finish the fight, and with Cassie offering moral support, we defeated the rest of the armored skeletons. I sadly approached the remains of the straw golem. This is all my fault. I bet these guys were working for the Skele King.
It's not your fault, Zozo. It's the bad guys who should be blamed.
You're right, Cassie. I need to focus on what matters, stopping the Skele King from taking everyone's food. Speaking of food, I'm getting hungry again. I explored the golem's house for some food, but instead found a crafting table with items placed on top. Of course, it's the crafting recipe for TNT. I bet shooting TNT with my slingshot will work way better than shooting with gunpowder. From day 36 to day 39, I set off in search of something else to eat. Cassie and I split up so we could cover more ground. I also needed to keep looking for additional ways to defeat the Skele King, but I was pretty sure I could do both at the same time. I couldn't help it. I was just a very hungry creeper. Cassie told me she heard there was food in the Badlands, so that was where I decided to go. But I didn't see any snacks anywhere, just rocks, sand, cacti, and other non-food plants. Aw man, nothing to eat here. As I was talking to myself, a coyote came up to me. He told me that he needed help finding aloe vera to treat his sunburns. He had spent too much time in the sun without applying sunscreen, and now he had sunburns all over his skin. Sure, I'll help you. Maybe if I found it quick enough, he'd give me a snack in return. No, I shouldn't think that. You shouldn't do good deeds just in case someone gives you a gift. You should do them just because it's good to be kind and help others. I spotted the aloe plant, but when I ran over to pick it up, someone jumped out from behind a rock.
I am the Desert Lord.
Dessert Lord? What kind of desserts do you have?
Not dessert, you fool! Desert! This is my domain, and everything in it belongs to me, including that aloe plant. Begone!
No can do, buddy. That aloe is required by someone else.
Then you must duel me for it.
Works for me. I ran toward the Desert Lord and fought him with my banana katana. The duel didn't take very long because my katana broke. What was I thinking? It's made from bananas. Of course the durability is non-existent. I used my axe instead, before he fell down and gave up. Then I grabbed the Zimbabwe aloe saplings and took them back to the coyote. He didn't have any snacks for me, but that was okay. It was still nice to help out. Before I left the Badlands, I made sure to stock up on some sand so I can craft more TNT when I get home. From day 40 to day 43, I returned to my base to check things out. This place is missing something. I know, we need some banners and some bookcases. I quickly got to work adding them. When I was done, I took a look at my new and improved base. Much better. That's when Goblo approached me.
Zozo, could I ask for a favor?
Sure thing, Goblo. What's up?
I'm pretty lonely here without any other goblins. Think I could invite some of my gob friends to stay with us for a while?
Sure, let me just make them some rooms. I added some extra rooms to the base so Goblo's buddies would have somewhere to stay. It was starting to look like a hotel. All done, go ahead and invite your friends. While Goblo and the Gobs settled in, I crafted as much TNT as I could. I have enough gunpowder for only 3? Come on, Stomach, you can do better than that. Start making more gunpowder. At least I could craft myself a diamond sword to replace the good old banana katana. My thoughts turned to food again, but my thoughts were interrupted by one of my latest guests, the Mungus, coming over to me with a quest.
Hey, Zozo, I have a quest for you.
Sure, what is it?
I need you to go to the underground mine for me. There is an Anubis there who has been terrorizing my family and keeping them from mining there.
I don't like bullies. You've got it, Mungus. I'll make sure he leaves your family alone. From day 44 to day 49, I traveled to the location of the underground mine to look for that Anubis who was giving Mungus so much trouble. I spotted a crane in the distance. This must be it. It was an entire mining site. I headed down into the mine and started to look around. I have to admit, I was also kind of hoping I'd find something to eat too, but the chests there were filled with rubbish. Mostly I was focused on my quest, but I'll never turn down a snack. I ventured deeper, but I didn't see Anubis anywhere. But what I did see was the Skeleking lurking in the mine.
Hey, you've gotten bigger since I last saw you. What did I tell you before, Zozo? No more free snacks. This is the end of that line, kid. You're toast, and you'll never eat toast again without paying me for it first.
You're terrible. You let your greed consume everything you do, and then you act like we're all greedy for wanting the smallest things. It's not fair.
Life isn't fair. You're either a winner or a loser. Get used to it. And speaking of losing, get ready to lose a fight with one of my best minions. Ha 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 ha!
He let out an evil laugh, then ran out of the mine, leaving a terrifying ghost miner behind. I had to be brave, even if I was scared. Whatever, I ain't afraid of no ghost. But when he rushed at me, I could tell he was really strong, and this wasn't going to be an easy fight. From day 50 to day 53, I worked hard to bust the ghost miner and get out of the underground mine alive. I was a little bit worried because I couldn't damage him. My punches went straight through him. And his pickaxe did loads of damage. But it dawned on me, I should blast him away with my TNT. I loaded up my slingshot and kaboom! The ghost was literally blown away. Haha! I managed to win after all! As I was looking around the mine after the fight, I saw a chest in the distance. I checked inside. A golden apple? Can I eat this? Only one way to find out. Turns out, I could eat it. And not only was it tasty and gave me some nice buffs, but it gave me some secret knowledge. Suddenly, I knew something else about the Skeleking. So he's hiding all the food he takes in chests at his base. If only I knew where his base was, I could return all the food to the people that need it. That's great! Now I just have to find out where he's hiding and get big and strong enough to stand a chance in a fight with him too. From day 54 to day 57, I climbed deeper into the mine. I couldn't go back to my base until I found that Anubis. After all, I gave Mungus my word that I would complete his quest. Well, all of a sudden, it looked like I would still get the chance because a great big tough Anubis came bolting out at me. Ah, bad dog, bad dog! He knocked into me and it hurt, but I was still alive and I was still strong enough to fight back. I ran back at him and managed to defeat him, even though he was bigger and badder than me. Oh hey, he dropped something. Suspicious stew. Awesome! I didn't care how suspicious it was. I was starving. I slurped it up and felt myself grow bigger and stronger with 18 hearts now. With my quest complete, I headed back to the base to give Mungus the good news.
Thank you so much, Zozo. I have some good news of my own. I heard a rumor that the Skeleking's base is in the Weeping Witch Forest. When you feel strong and ready enough, you should be able to find him there.
From day 58 to day 62, I was thinking about food again. I wish I had some more eggs, then we could make all kinds of snacks here at the base. Wait a second, if we had some more chickens, we could have more eggs. I went out and found some chickens, then herded them back to the base and put them in the coop with the others. Make friends, little chickens. Then I decided to see if I could upgrade my gear. I went down into the mine and found some more diamonds. Perfect! I used the diamonds to craft a shiny new pair of diamond boots and pants. I feel tougher already. From day 63 to day 66, I tried to come up with a plan for what to do next. I wasn't ready to try and take on the Skeleking on his own turf. I needed to get stronger first. Then Goblo came to me with an idea.
Say, Zozo, are you still hungry?
I'm always hungry.
Well, I heard there's some yummy fish to be found in the bayou. Might be a good idea to check it out and see if you can find some.
That's a great idea. Thanks to Goblo's tip, I left my base and traveled to the bayou. I was wandering around when an ogre came stomping up to me. I was pretty nervous and got ready for a fight, but he gave me a friendly growl instead.
Hi, sorry to bother you, but I could use a little help. You see, there are a bunch of gnarly swamp spiders infesting my house and trying to bite me every time I go inside. Could you get rid of them for me?
Sure, after the kind of enemies I've fought lately, I can definitely squash a few spiders. From day 67 to day 70, I followed the ogre to his house, and sure enough, it was crawling with swamp spiders! Yikes! I get why you asked for help! These weren't any ordinary spiders, they were meaner and much more dangerous, but I'd already fought the Spider Queen, so I knew I could take them. It didn't take long before I defeated every single one of those spiders.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without your help.
All done. Your house should be safe now.
Yeah, take this as a thank you.
He handed me some raw salmon. Hey, it's true, there really is fish here. I gobbled up the salmon, and it really hit the spot. We said our goodbyes, and the ogre went back to cleaning up and living in his house. From day 71 to day 74, I took a walk through the Black Forest on my way back to my base. As I was looking around, I found a note on the ground. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more adventures like this one, and be sure to search Zozo to find more awesome videos. After looking at the note, I went back to hunting for something else to eat. I've heard people talk about Black Forest cake before. Maybe I can find some of that here if I'm lucky. But I didn't find any cake. All I found was the Skeleking lying in wait for me.
There's no more cake left in this forest, Zozo, but I'll give you a slice if you bring me some diamonds first.
Never!
Then perish.
He started throwing bone blocks at me. I tried to dodge them, but a few got me anyway. Ouch! That really hurt! He's still a lot stronger than me. I don't want to run away, but I'd better get out of here if I want to survive. So I ran out of there as fast as I could before he could do any more damage. Next time I see him, I'll make sure I'm ready! From day 75 to day 78, I ran all the way back to my base. Thankfully, the Skeleking wasn't able to follow me there. I need to do something to take my mind off of that disaster. I looked around and my eyes settled on the garden. Some flowers would make me feel better. So I planted some flowers in the garden and it really cheered me up. Look at all those beautiful flowers. As I was finishing up with the garden, one of the gobs that Goblo invited to the base came over. He thanked me for giving him and the others a place to stay and handed me a steaming hot bowl of mushroom stew as a thank you gift. Yum, this smells great. I quickly ate the stew and grew larger, gaining 4 more hearts. Wow, I feel so much stronger now. Thanks, Gob. That's a pretty powerful stew. From day 79 to day 84, I headed to the apple orchard to gather some fruit and look for some mobs I could test out my new strength on. I found plenty of both. There were a lot of apples, and there was also the Golden Devourer. They were hungry little guys trying to eat all the apples for themselves. Leave some for the rest of us. I taught them a lesson and beat them quickly. I really am stronger. A giant came up to me and told me he saw what I did. He'd been trying to clear those pests out of the apple orchard for days now, and now he and the other people living nearby could finally get some of the apples. I helped him pick some to take back home, and he gave me a piece of mutton in return. I ate the mutton and it tasted great and helped me grow even stronger. From day 85 to day 89, I took a leisurely walk back to my base. But when I got there, I was shocked at what I found. There was a big, nasty sectoid queen attacking my base and scaring all of my friends. Hey, you get out of here! But before I could attack, the sectoid queen scuttled off into the woods. Oh, no you don't! I ran after her, but I lost track of her. I saw a bull looking around and thought maybe he could help me. Have you seen a sectoid queen?
Yes! If I tell you where she went, will you help me get my cat out of that tree?
Sure. Here, kitty kitty. I don't know why, but the cat listened to me and climbed down out of the tree. I guess it could tell I just wanted to help.
Thank you! She went that way!
He pointed me in the right direction, and I headed off to track down the sectoid queen. From day 90 to day 94, I found the sectoid queen deep in the Sika woods. There you are. Why were you attacking my base?
Just following orders from the Skeleking. He sent me after a little mooch who's been hoarding snacks without paying for them. When I couldn't find you, I decided to tear apart your house to teach you a lesson.
You shouldn't have done that. Now, I'll teach you a lesson.
You can try.
I attacked with my sword, but it was a much harder fight than I expected. Uh-oh, she's really strong. This isn't gonna be easy. The queen seemed to back off and started digging a tunnel into the mountain. I was hurting, so I didn't follow her immediately. Instead, I gathered some berries to replenish my hunger and health before continuing the fight. From day 95 to day 97, I went into the tunnel which led to a dripstone cave where the queen was waiting. I charged her and kept on fighting the sectoid queen. She started spawning regular-sized ants around her. Sure, they were small, but they still bite. I was getting pretty tired, and I was worried I might not make it out of this one.
Might as well give up now. You'll never be a match for the Skeleking.
That taunt gave me the inspiration I needed to finish up the fight. That is it. No more playing around. Taste the power of TNT. I shot a TNT charge up into the dripstone, and it fell right on the sectoid queen. She was done for. Wow, that was a tough one. I saw that the sectoid queen had dropped a throwing axe, and I picked it up. Wow, this is a great weapon. It'll help me a lot. There was an inscription on the handle reading, "Property of the Skeleking." I guess this used to be his throwing axe. Well, he took a lot of things from people who need them, and then he was careless with his own weapon? Finders keepers, I guess. I'll use this to defeat him once and for all. Before I left, I made sure to mine up all the diamonds that were in this cave. This will be just enough diamonds to finish my diamond armor set. On day 98, I took my new throwing axe back home to my base, and to my surprise, my friends fixed up the house back to the way it was before. I started preparing for the final battle. First, I made the rest of my diamond armor. There, now I am well protected. Next, I crafted as much TNT as I could. Thank you, Stomach. This gunpowder will be used for good. Now I finally felt ready to take on the Skeleking and return the food to the hungry masses. But first, Cassie approached me.
Zozo, I'm glad I caught you. I brought you this pineapple to help you get your strength up before your battle.
I ate the pie and changed my form into a mutant creeper. Now I look really mighty. I gained even more hearts, up to 40 now. What was in that pineapple?
I don't know, but now you can definitely defeat the Skeleking.
Then came Goblo.
Yeah, thank you for saving my life, Zozo. You've done so much to help so many people, and I just know you'll be the one to free us from the Skeleking.
Thank you, that means a lot. Of course, the Mungus had something to say.
Zozo, I may just be a simple mungus from mushroom fields, but I think you're a really fun guy.
Thanks. And even the other gobs wanted to encourage me.
Since you liked it so much before, here's some more mushroom stew. Eat up before you leave.
I stored the stew for later, and I felt prepared to head out and take back what was rightfully ours. On day 99, I started on my trek to the Weeping Witch Forest, where the Skeleking's base was. At first, I wasn't sure where exactly his lair might be, but a bubble parasite pointed me in the right direction.
You can do it, Zozo.
Thanks, pal. When I arrived at the base, I saw an armored pillager guarding the entrance. How am I gonna get past him? For a second, I thought my plans were doomed, until the ogre came running out of the woods.
Let me handle him. You take on the Skeleking.
Ogre, you're here!
You didn't think I'd leave you without any backup, did ya? I can handle the zombie. You head on inside.
On day 100, I ran straight into the Skeleking's base. With no more minions to protect him, he would have to fight me himself, one-on-one. Come on out and face me. It's time for you to be the one who pays. He emerged from his lair at the sound of my taunts.
I'm not paying for a thing. You don't know what you're messing with, little creeper.
I'm not so little anymore.
No, I guess not. You've gotten strong on stolen snacks. Snacks you should have given me emeralds in exchange for.
You can't make people pay you for food. It belongs to everyone.
Enough talk. I've had enough of your chatter. I'll shut you up once and for all.
You know what? I'm still hungry, and there's only one thing that would hit the spot right now. Justice. And with that, I sprang into action and charged at the Skeleking, dealing him a powerful blow. But he was not taking any damage. He had some sort of purple magic protecting him. That's when I noticed purple crystals in the watchtowers. That must be what is protecting him. Just like when you fight the Ender Dragon, I needed to get closer to them. I managed to sprint into his house. I searched for a lever to deactivate the towers, but saw nothing, just his bed and his throne. He did have TNT on display. That is it. Who needs a lever? I can just shoot TNT at the crystals. I had no time to waste. The Skeleking came into the house and landed some good hits on me. I ran to the first tower and launched TNT right into the crystal. The Skeleking didn't seem to like that explosion.
I ran to the next tower while Skeleking chased me. Soon the second tower was also down. Just one more! The Skeleking almost caught up to me, but he was too late. I successfully destroyed all the crystals and his magical protection had disappeared. He stepped back, injured. No, you're weak. You're tiny. I own you. I own everyone. Everything. Maybe you did own everything, but I'm here to take it all back. I threw my throwing axe as hard as I could, and it hit, knocking him out. And that was that. The Skeleking had been dethroned. Time to take all of this food and get it back to the people who need it. In that moment, I didn't feel hungry anymore, and I knew that as long as I had anything to say about it, no one in the world would ever go hungry again.